Hi, Rose. Testing, testing. I know there may be other people there too, but you don't have my personal number, so you can't text to tell me that you can hear. So let me know you can hear this, Rose. Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Welcome to day two of Psychic in the City presents the virtual spiritual summit. And if I do say so myself, well, I'm going to. I'm looking like a bit of a buck these days, aren't I? I kind of fancy myself. I don't know why I'm single. Must be my awful personality. Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? I hope you're keeping well, looking well. Maybe some of you have fell down a well. I don't know. I don't live in your house. I don't know what it is that you get up to. For those that don't know me, my name is Shan McGill. It's not Sean, it's Shan. And no, it's not Welsh, and no, it's not a girl's name. Um, my name is Sean McGill. I'm also known as Psychic in the City. I am an international psychic medium. I'm currently on tour in Europe and I have given up 2 days of my time to bring you experts in their field to help you live more fuller, more authentic selves, just being that real beautiful you, being an even more beautiful version of you, if I could put it that way. And I also am an international best-selling author. I've wrote the book Tarot for Modern Times. Is anyone going to give a little screenshot again today and post on Facebook? I'll freeze frame for you for a second, shall I? Funny FaceTime. So I do hope you have enjoyed yesterday's summit, and I know that I overloaded you with a lot of emails, and am I apologising for that? Definitely not, because you knew what you were signing up to. You were getting told that you're going to get emails about this speaker and that speaker and the other one, and I would like to thank Penny and Linda and Carl for their input into yesterday's summit. And today I have some fantastic speakers for you today. I have Brenda Shanky joining me soon, Dr. Tina Heath and Angela Dunlop. And today we are going to be doing mindfulness exercises, hypnosis experiences, and you know, there may be visualizations and mindset stuff included in that. So guys, please understand that if you are not supposed to be, you know, participating in those types of things, then don't. That's my disclaimer. You can't blame me, because I've already told you. So I hope everybody else is dressed up as well today. You have no idea how excited I am to put a suit on. It has been so long because it's really, really warm, although it's cooled down just a little bit now where I am. And I had to run to the shop before we were getting going here. And normally I'm running about in shorts, t-shirts or skinny jeans and a hoodie. And I went into the local store, and the two girls that were working were like, "Hi, you?" And I'm like, "Hello, girls," and they went about getting my stuff, and one of them was like, "You're looking at all, you look good." Obviously, you know, they've seen me looking like a tramp for the past 7 weeks. and the other one scanned the same item 3 times, staring at me. I'm like, "Are you all right there, love?" And she's like, you look very unusual," and I'm like, "Thanks, I think." So, safe to say that 2 women in the shop have complimented me. So that's probably as far as it's going to go with me and the Maltese people. um, so, how are you all doing? I'm so overwhelmed with the response that I have got for yesterday's summit. Also, the messages, the Facebook posts, the comments. I'm completely overwhelmed. Thank you so much for all your wonderful, lovely messages and just thank you guys. I really appreciate it, because the reason as to why I put this summit together, like I said, it's to help you guys. You know, I'm creating the life that I want to live. I'm living a life that I want to live. I'm happy, I'm booked, I'm blessed, I'm, you know, very much in a good place in my life, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. And, you know, I really want to help as many people as I possibly can. And the fact that, you know, people have reached out to me and, you know, just shared what they were able to take away from yesterday, it means the world to me, you know, because I am all about us living our authentic selves. That is just who I am. That is what I do. I am my authentic self as most possible that I can be. You know, I try to show up as myself each and every day, and the more that I show up each and every day as myself, the more the right people are going to come to me. And that's the way it is with you guys. The more you show up as who you are, the more the right people are going to love you for who you are, for not who you think you should be, you know. And that's just the way it is. So I need to undo my top button, you know. I feel like I'm being choked, and it's not fun, you know. So, once you show up as your authentic self in life, guys, and you know what it is that you want, you know what you're going after, you're going to attract those friends, those relationships, those experiences, and those opportunities that are going to help propel you forward. And you know, I'm always my authentic self, to the very best of my ability. And the more that I began to step into who I am and really understand who I am after going through a period that was dark, that was difficult for me, and I'm still on a journey of discovery, absolutely, in no way am I saying I'm done. But the more that I began to do that, 2 things really started to happen for me. Well, a lot of things did, but 2 main things really started to happen. People began to fall away from my life. People began to step away from me because the person that I was, the one that was afraid of connection, the one that was afraid of being rejected, because that person didn't exist anymore. And I thought, no, this is me, this is who I am. Certain people didn't like that, and they began to filter out of my life. And that's just fine. There is nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, when people began to leave my life, that created space in my life for new people to come in, for new opportunities to come in, and for people who actually love me for who I am. Now, this isn't me telling you a soppy little story. I should probably hit record, shouldn't I? Damn it. No, do I need to? No, I don't need to. It's on YouTube. Hey, I'll record anyway. But this isn't me, you know, telling you a soppy little story. This isn't me saying anything sort of, you know, per me. This is me going, look what happened whenever I went through a dark time, and I really connected and thought, you know what, I like me. I like who I am as a person, and I began to use the tools in my toolbox, the tools that, you know, people were speaking of yesterday and things that people are going to speak of today. And I've attracted in people that love me and support me for the fucking mess that I am. You know, one of my very good friends, my best friends, rang me the other day. And I was just venting, and I was going, I can't believe this had went on with a certain person. And, you know, when I love hard, and I love unconditionally. That is just it. I expect people that I love to show up as themselves. That is my unconditional love. And, you know, it's like, and I know you, and I know Anya are that way with me. And she's like, exactly. We know that you're fucking nuts, but we love you anyway for that. And that is part of who I am. And see, these people that don't love and accept you for who you are, you do not need to dilute yourself down for them, guys. You do not need to fucking change yourself for the people in your life. What you need to do is you need to change your fucking scenery. You need to change the people in your life and let you come to the surface. And there's so many different tools and different techniques that you can use to do that. You know, Brenda Shanky is joining very, very soon, and she's going to be giving us some mindfulness stuff to really, really help with being present in the moment. So you're going to be taking a lot away from this weekend. This is not just us spending time together going, oh, look at me, I'm a medium, I'm amazing. Because you have me on Facebook to say that to you. You know, I'm a medium, I'm amazing, there we go, I've said it, I've got it out of the way, let's move on to the next thing. And you know, I really find that whenever I'm working with my clients, be it doing a tarot reading or doing rapid transformational therapy, or if someone's in one of my mentoring programs, I like to help them draw out, you know, the best that's within them through whatever way it is. Now, some of you guys that are watching live, some of you guys that are watching the replay may think, oh, I'd love a tarot reading with Sean, or oh, I'd love to join his mediumship mentoring program. And you know, there are two very different ways that I can work with you and you can work with me. But I'm still going to try and draw out what I see in you. And my clients love me and my clients hate me for that, because as you probably noticed, I'm very honest. I just don't lie. You know, I don't see the value in it. Sometimes I just won't answer if I'm asked a question, and that pisses off people as well, but it is what it is. And whenever I'm trying to draw out the best in you and try and just coax out what I see, because don't forget guys, whenever you're looking in the mirror, metaphorically and obviously non-metaphorically, whenever you're looking in the mirror, you're used to seeing that reflection back. Whenever you're working with someone else, such as me or any of my speakers or anyone else in any other industry, I'm not looking at your reflection. I'm looking at you dead on, in the eyes, in the soul, for the person that I see standing in front of me. I'm not looking at someone that's, you know, paying me X amount of money to work with me privately. I'm looking at you for the person that you are, and I see things that maybe you don't see. And that doesn't mean that I'm special, because I can see these things. It doesn't have fuck all to do with being clairvoyant or being a medium or a healer or whatever. It just means any person looking at you will see the things in you that you don't see in yourself. So you got to take these things from people around you. You don't got to take the shit, but take the compliments. You know, there's something that I've seen on TikTok or whatever shit it is the kids are into these days, and it's like you're being critical of yourself for where you are, where there's other people around you admire your full potential and are intimidated by your full potential. And I really want you to think about that, guys. You know, you're critical of yourself, but there is people around you that admire your potential, that admire the progress that you've made on your own, by yourself, without the help of other people. How cool is that? How much different would your life be if you really began to think, fuck, Sean is crazy, but he talks a lot of sense? How much better would your day be if you really took on board what I said there? And I'm really just talking about this based on the messages that I've received from people. You know, I see so much amazing potential within people, whether it be in a reading or just a conversation that I'm having with someone. I get to see the potential, and I'm so lucky that I'm able to see that. And I want to kick some of my clients because they won't see it or accept it or acknowledge it. And that to me is just a little bit of a slap in the face, you know. Not to me. You do what you want to do. I'm living my life for me, you know, and you need to live your life for you. And you need to really begin to understand that you, as much as where you are in your life, right here, right now, it's going to take the same amount of effort and energy and motivation to get you to where you want to be. Now, it mightn't happen tomorrow, and it mightn't happen next week or next month or next year, because I know that the speed that it took me to get to Gozo, from making that committed decision to being here, was a period of 9 weeks. And I know magic happened in that 9 weeks. But what happened was I had plenty of groundwork done. What I had done was, do you ever notice, like, you might drive the same route and there is buildings being built, there's a housing estate being built, and they seem like they're there forever and no progress is made. and it's just like, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, as the saying goes back home, either threw them houses up overnight. Do you know why that is? The groundwork was done first. And that's the longest part in becoming your most authentic self. It's weeding out absolutely all of the nonsense, all of the crap, pulling all of that shit out of your brain, all that programming, that conditioning, that negative self-talk, all those beliefs that are holding you back, and then you get to fill it with all that wonderful stuff that you want. And my first speaker for today is one of the most superb people at being able to help you get into the present moment. To not only just get into the present moment, but begin to be there for you and for other people around you. And this is Brenda Shanky, and hopefully she's on her way in, because I've just clicked admit there. The joys of working live and me getting tongue-tied, huh? Yeah, so we have multiple different tools that we can use to then fill up our mind with all those beautiful new beliefs and those beautiful new thought processes that we really want, that are going to be beneficial for us to help move us forward. And I remember Linda was speaking yesterday about having a goal. Once we have a goal, we stop being a slave to the most mundane tasks. Whenever we don't have a goal, we tend to go round and round and round and round and round in circles. And I'm sure you probably know someone in your life that is busy, but they're busy doing nothing. That type of person. That type of person doesn't have a clearly defined goal. That type of person doesn't know what is going on in their life. And whenever you don't have a goal, you're all over the place. And I know Linda spoke of that yesterday, and there we have Brenda joining us. A few wee technical difficulties, but here we are, Brenda.
How did you know there's two of me on there, is there?
I know, I don't know what was going on, but you're looking fab. You really are. Look at us being extra as always.
Always.
I was literally just saying, Brenda, about moving forward in your life. We need to take out all of that crap conditioning and programming and beliefs. And once we do that, we can then get to fill our mind with the beliefs that we want. And I was going, and you just popped up as Brenda Shanky is waiting, and I was like, there we go, because she's your woman to keep you present, to keep you mindful, and to give you a boot in the backside. Brenda, thank you so much for joining my virtual spiritual summit.
Thank you for having me. I
I'm
hope you're all having a great time, everybody.
Oh, I know everybody is watching today as my phone's constantly going with all these messages and tags on Facebook, so it's brilliant. So, Brenda, before I just steamroll ahead, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Yeah, great. Well, my name is Brenda Shanky. Thanks for the great intro. And I am a spiritual life coach. And I'm a mindfulness coach, but I specialize in children and young adults.
I have to stop you there because you said it wrong. You're a mindfulness expert,
Thank
not
you.
a coach, an expert, Brenda. So
Yes.
when it comes to meditation and when it comes to mindfulness, don't sell yourself short here. You're an expert in what it is that you do.
Thank you. And do you know what? I think I've studied long enough and I would be an expert. And that's, I was going to say, funnily, because you'll identify with this. Whilst I'm a kids expert, I believe that flows into us because people like me and you have never grown up, Shan.
Just call me Peter Pan, and you must be Tinkerbell.
I remember when I was doing my teacher training in kids mindfulness, and I had to teach a class to 5-year-olds. So I created this bumblebee, and it was called Brenda the Buzzing Bee. And Brenda was giving all these messages. Anyway, I taught the class of 5-year-olds and how to be present, how to feel, identify your feelings, how to go into the mind and look at all the different bits of what is this, what's going on, what's connecting to there, what am I doing? And the weird thing, in all my years of teaching, kids just got it. Whatever I said, they got. and they changed and they identified and they moved and they shifted and they just flowed. So in my coaching for adults, I just speak to them like they're 5 because we complicate everything.
Yep.
And the secret of this living and this life is it's so simple.
Mhm.
It is so simple. We are the ones that complicate it.
Yeah.
And for me, keeping it in the day is the only way I can survive. This 24 hours is all I have. Fact. What has happened yesterday is gone. So if I brought in the worry and the clutter and the annoyances from yesterday, I'm responsible for the stress and the panic and the overwhelm and the fear. Me, not the person who wronged me or those who were talking about me or the mistakes that I made. So when I realized and when I learned, I am responsible for my life and me, but I'm also responsible for keeping it simple, for living in a joy vibration, for creating my dreams, for creating my reality. And all I have to do as Brenda is keep it in the day. So I have created this little simple life for me, and it works. And it's 10 minutes a day. I create 10 minutes. I create 1 minute magical moments 10 times a day. And to keep me centered and grounded, I have all these little things that I like to do. But when I'm running away into the day and someone's having a go at me or I've done something wrong and I'm in the moment, I have to come back to center. I have to come into the moment and come into the light and sit and ground myself and be present and go, okay, Brenda. And I always connect with the spirit guides. Okay, because they're my strength. That is my strength. Sometimes I can't do it all by myself. So I need the team. And I come in and go, okay, this is going horribly wrong in the moment. All this that I'm looking at is, but how can I come back, center myself, and show me what is good for me in this moment? Show me the direction. Show me what I need to do and give me the guidance. But I only hear the guidance when I'm in the light.
Yeah. You know, and I just want to add on to what you're saying there, because you're not a medium, you know, you're not,
No.
you don't do the work that I do. And
No.
I know that you're involved in your training and all this, you know, but what I want to say is, guys, Brenda has been doing mindfulness for years and connecting to her spirit team for just as long before Brenda even decided, oh, I'm going to take the mediumship a bit more serious or the spirit side a wee bit serious. So guys, just because Brenda's mentioning spirit team, don't think, oh, that's just a Shan and Brenda thing because they talk to the dead. No.
It's funny. I just talk to the universe.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be. Someone up there is bigger and bolder and more fabulous than me. You know, but but they give me the power to get through in the human body, and I identify with that. So it's whatever you identify that gets you through.
Yeah.
And all I know in my living is we're only here once, and I want it to be an amazing journey.
Yeah.
But I know how I want to feel the majority of the time. I want to feel happy in my body. I want to feel happy in myself. I want to know that everybody I meet, I'm speaking kind words to, or I'm showing up with love.
Yeah.
I want to know that the skills that I have and the talent, that I'm using it because it's a gift. And not to be ashamed of standing up and saying, I am a mindfulness coach. And yes, maybe you're right. I put the word coach on because it's softly, gently to society, isn't it? It's sometimes it's what we try and get people in to But the work that I do all evolves around your heart, connecting with your heart center and feeling what feels right for me, what brings me joy, what brings me satisfaction, what makes me feel good,
Yeah.
and following that judgment.
Yeah.
And the synchronicity of this and the ironic thing is when you do things that bring you joy, you cannot be in lack in the mind.
Mm.
When you live in joy, your energy vibrates. And we know that you feel amazing. But the self-critic doesn't come out to play so much.
Mm-hmm.
When you're happy, you're loving your life. You're loving being you. And you don't criticize your body. You don't criticize how you look. You don't criticize how much money you have. You don't criticize what you're doing because you go, I feel okay being me today.
Yeah.
And that's all right. You know?
Absolutely.
So when we live with joy, that's from your heart center. That to me is led by spirit.
Yeah.
And that's how I equate to something greater than me.
And we know that people trying to adopt a new habit and a new practice, it can be a very difficult thing. But you say you do a 1 minute joy 10 times a
10 times a
day.
day. Yes.
So what would be an example of one of your 1 minutes?
So literally, I use either with breathing. Sometimes if I'm in panic, I have to do conscious breath work. So that is, I sit down and I go, I make the moment really conscious. So I know that I know that I know I'm being conscious. So I sit down and I go, okay, Brenda, breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. And I let it out for 4.
Okay.
Now, that is one of my ones if I'm very overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very powerful breath work. But I literally go to the loo. I always say to people, we always need the loo wherever we are in life. So if you're in chaos, if someone's giving off to you, if something's not working out, I always say, oh, I'm just away to the loo for a moment. And I sit down and I come into the belly and I literally try and let go and diffuse the anger or the frustration or the irritability. And when I do that, I have this time, when I breathe in for 4 and out for 4, 3 times, that's usually a minute.
Okay. All right, guys.
Yeah.
So breathe in for 4 to the count of 4, and then hold it for 4.
Yes.
And out for 4. So there's one technique that Brenda's already shared to help you get away from your crazy mother or your annoying sibling or that boss that's nagging at you. Get up and go to the toilet. You don't have to get up and hit your mum a slap. As much as that may make you happy, it mightn't make your soul happy.
Yes.
And my mum knows I'm talking directly to her because her mum lives 2 doors up. So there's one brilliant exercise that you can do to pull yourself into the present moment. That's so awesome. That's such a simple technique, that conscious breath. That's people I've spoke to about meditation and about mindfulness, and I know you've actually taught people how to teach meditation. You know, that's where you are. You don't just run meditation groups, you actually teach the people that run meditation groups, you know, expert. But anyway, you know, so when I talk to people, they seem to have this idea that even me as a medium, that I'm going to sit like this and be like, 24/7, and I'm like, no, have you not met me? I'm not all there. I don't do that. You know, but what I do is I'll steal those wee 5 minutes a day that are mine.
Yeah.
And I will sit and I will relax myself. And now I know the types of meditation that I do mightn't be for everybody, but if you were to teach, you know, the people that are watching this live today or the replay at some point, if you were to share a simple meditation technique with them or advice about meditation, what would you say?
I think the simple thing is drop your expectation. everybody thinks meditation is going to bring you into this state of complete zen and solve your life's problems and calm everything. It took me years to learn it, to practice, years. And my first few meditation classes were like torture, because
Yep.
my mind was too busy. The mind was too busy. So that's why I wanted to have a job. I wanted to be glamorous. I wanted to be out and about socializing. I didn't have the time to be lying meditating for an hour a day or whatever. So it's grabbing mindful moments and learning to come. This was my biggest lesson. Knowing that you're coming out of the mind, but that you're in the body. So I call it the brain break.
The brain break. I
The
love
brain
it.
break. I need, as Brenda, and we know that the mind has 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. And if they're going at high speed, if you're anxious, you know yourself, when your anxiety is heightened, your thoughts are erratic. They're irrational. You can't control them. You make rash decisions. You spout your mouth out and say things you shouldn't. This is where mindfulness comes in for me, is because I don't want to shout at people and say things I regret, as you say. I don't want to have harmful words to another that might have a serious effect on their well-being. So I want to be responsible for me. And that is knowing that I can come into my heart center. This is another great one that I use. I just take my right hand, I set it on my heart, put my left hand over it, I close the eyes, and I listen to my heartbeat. Let's try that.
So guys,
Okay.
everybody join us for this one. So Brenda, talk us through it from the start. Right hand on the heart.
But right hand on your heart, left hand on top, closing your eyes. And I want you to come in to your heartbeat. And with your right hand, I want you to feel the beats of your heart. Feel that little beat. Listen to your heartbeat. Feeling your chest moving up and down as you breathe in and out. And now I want you to say to your heart silently, thank you. I love you. I am enough. And open your eyes.
Such a simple exercise.
Yeah. 1 minute.
Yeah.
1 minute of power.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And like I felt my blood pump.
Did you feel your heartbeat? Did you feel it?
Not just that, I felt the blood move through my. I was totally there and totally present, and you can just see how that would just give you that capacity, that brain space,
Yes.
to tackle whatever it is in front of you. Yeah.
Life.
Differently, 100%. It's gonna be so much easier when I go back to visit my family in February. My goodness.
Yeah. And then if you're in a state of conflict, and we know the home is primarily the biggest state of conflict, after I do that, because I'm respecting myself, I'm going, I love you. Thank you. You know why I say thank you? Because I'm alive today.
Yeah.
I'm breathing.
Beautiful.
I have the gift of life. And we know in life's lessons, and this is, I think you know my story. My sister died 6 years ago. And I have to say, the hardest, most broken that I've ever been in my life. And I was heartbroken.
Yeah.
But something powerful happened to me. I got up one day and I heard her saying, but you're alive. But you're alive.
Yeah.
Now stand up and be proud of who you are. Brenda, you are amazing. Get up and live. And I've stopped apologizing for being me from that moment. Because I'm not here to please everybody else. I'm here to live as me and show up as my best self.
I don't know if you watched the 15 minutes before you got on, but that's exactly what I was talking about.
No, I
Showing
didn't.
up as your authentic self,
Show
because
up.
once you do that, you're more present. You're who you are. The right people will love you, and the wrong people will fall away.
Yeah, yeah. And it's hard. If you can see how life works, when you're doing the right things,
Mm-hmm.
the right things will happen. And sometimes the right things are that things that are wrong for you will be removed.
Yeah.
That may that be jobs, may that be friendships of
Mm-hmm.
years. If they're not in your vibrational frequency, if those people are not good for your soul, they will be removed for you to step up
Mm-hmm.
because you need this space to be you.
Yeah. Yeah. And for those people that love you to really come in
Yeah,
and love you hard, that's, yeah,
yeah,
not making it a hard job to love you, but they will love you hard and intense and
yes,
unconditionally for that. Do you know why? Because you love you
yes,
hard and unconditionally. Like, and you get there by getting to know you, by going inward and doing those little moments
yeah.
that you just shared, Brenda. You know, and that's so powerful, that little exercise. And I find when I work with people, and you probably find this too, that such a simple an exercise is so effective, but so often overlooked because
What
it
about,
is so simple.
yes, life is simple. We make it complicated.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
We make it
100%.
complicated.
Yeah. You know,
We,
I do have a question or similar questions that have been sent in. Um, and people have been asking that a general run of things is that they find it hard to focus or to get their mind clear when meditating or trying anything mindfulness. And would there be anything that you could recommend to assist that?
um, yes. So in the beginning, remember, change your objective of clearing the mind. We just did it. Come into the body. So I give you the heart centered, that's coming into the present moment. Another great one is to repeat a mantra. So when you repeat a mantra or when you say something over and over again, but you're listening, your body is vibrating. So even sitting silently, and I always say, staring at something in the room, focusing on something in front of you, and just looking at the thing. And there's a great little mantra. And I'll just again, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So everybody, focus at something in front of you in the room. And I want you again, there is 4 words in this, and we're just going to repeat the words over and over and over. So I'm going to chant these words and you're just going to listen. So here we go. Looking at the space. Sa, ta, na, dam. Sa, ta, na, dam. Sa, ta, na, dam. Sa, ta, na, dam. Or hum. Now that will take you into a trance-like state. Did you feel a bit trancy there?
Yeah, my solar plexus were starting to go.
Yeah.
And I could
So
feel, yeah.
humming has a vibrational. Again, look what I'm doing. I'm coming out of the mind and into the body.
Yep.
So if the question is, how do I quiet my mind? My answer is, you come in to your body and you focus, you hum, you chant, you, another one that I love that I use for kids is the hand yoga. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this.
That is superb.
You love that?
You can let, like, I'm a handsy person, as you
Ah,
I can do that. Yeah, like that's
you love
literally
it.
that, that's gonna be me walking about now along the beach.
Yes. So, you know, when you're in an office and
Mm,
someone's berating you or putting you down, or, you know, and I teach this to kids and pre-exam to focus on the teacher under the desk.
yeah. Uh-huh.
And what is the I can do this word? It's empowerment because you can. You're firing up your own belly. That's
Yeah.
where you felt it down in the root, down in the sacrum. Rah! You're
Mm.
firing up your own, I can do this.
Oh.
You know? So the
Yeah.
warrior is, but you're doing it again. You're tuning in to the body.
Mm.
All of the you can feel it, all of the meridians, you're feeling the pressure points. And you're coming into a trance.
Yeah. Wow. That's again, that's just something like you could do anywhere. You don't,
Yes.
yeah, like meditation and mindfulness. Yeah, it's great having the incense burning and having the music in the background. That's not for everybody though. Like I'm definitely not that type of person. I have my sensei and normally I'm lying on the sofa, you know, that's
Yeah.
it. But I like things that I can do quick, that are
Yes.
going to be effective, things
Yes.
that I can repeat throughout my day. And I know many people are like that, considering the world that we live in. We are so busy, we have so many distractions, and if doing something like this, just even whenever you're out, if you're feeling a little bit anxious, if you're feeling a little bit stressed, nobody needs to even see what it is that you're doing. And you're just, that's it. That will become a very, I can see that being a very powerful trigger for people.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Mm,
Brilliant. And my other
absolutely.
wee one that you're gonna love, because it's very reflective of me. But again, I learned this years ago. When I first learned it, I thought, don't be ridiculous. This is not gonna work, you know? Um, but when you wake up in the morning, all I want you to do, the first thing I want you to do is smile. Now, just smile right now. How, what happens? The power of a smile is unbelievable. When you smile, you actually boost your serotonin.
Yeah,
Do you feel it, Sean?
yeah, absolutely. You know what I used to do whenever I got out of bed? I'd get up out of bed, and first thing I would do, woohoo!
Yes,
That was, I
yes,
would like, and I didn't care. And when you were saying that, I remember one day I done that, and just as I went woohoo, a car alarm started going, and I shouted out the window, "Yeah, car, fucking cheer me on, woo!"
yeah. And even I use this, but I smile and then I use this with students because I worked in London, as you know, with and
Yeah.
what predict they just couldn't get out of bed in the morning. But these are all mindset, mindful habits of
Mm.
boost. But I used to say smile and then you count five, four, three, two, one, and by one you're out of the bed, up,
Yep.
and then you say, "Thank you, I'm ready to go."
Love it.
Now that is a super, super high vibrational way to start your morning. There's no meditation in that.
Yeah.
That is tuning in your system to be grateful, to be happy being you, to vibrate at a higher level. And then maybe I go downstairs and I sit and I do my gratitude journal and I prep for the day and I do 10 minutes meditation.
Hmm.
But all the stuff that I teach, as you can now see, is mindfulness and meditation for a busy life, for
Yeah.
a busy person, for a
Yeah.
busy mind.
I think that should be the title of your new book, Mindfulness for the Modern World. I'm just saying that because my book, Taro for Modern Times, you should do Mindfulness for Modern Times.
Um, and you know, it's just I went to all the modalities of teachers and everyone, and
Yeah.
I adapted it just to how I wanted to live.
Yeah.
And then I found that it was so simple, people got it.
Yeah.
And people were using it and I was transforming lives and it worked.
Yeah.
So why not teach it?
Exactly.
All the stuff that works.
100%. And I'm just very conscious of time as well, Brenda, because I know your schedule's probably 10 times busier than than mine. But I know that you work from Willow's Reach, I'm saying
Willow's
that's
Reach, yes,
yep,
yeah,
in Belfast City
in Belfast.
Centre. And you run various different workshops, everything from mindfulness,
Yeah,
one-on-one coaching to law of attraction style
yeah,
workshops, and
yeah.
so people can check Brenda out. And I know you've a book and cards
Yeah.
also, so I have that linked in our little
Oh,
speakers
thank
page.
you so much.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely, absolutely. And do you run any classes online? Because I know
I
we.
do. I do a lot of coaching online, and actually now at 4 o'clock. And I guess, but I'm coaching the Dua Lipa dancers on the world tour right now.
Of course you are.
Of course I am. So they are now in San Francisco today. I was coaching Robbie Williams dancers on world tour there. And I do all of that online.
Mm-hmm.
These are people with busy lives and high-end professionals, and it's wonderful. So the online stuff is great. You can do anytime, anywhere. So
Mm-hmm.
just follow me on Facebook or
Yep.
Instagram, anybody,
Yep.
and reach out. I can do anything online. If you want to have a coffee in Belfast, I can do that too. But yes, loads of classes coming up and day retreats, and I've lovely weekend retreats coming up this year, starting from March. Yeah.
Fantastic, awesome. Thank you so much for your time today, Brenda. And I know it was hard getting you nailed down for a time because
Oh, thank you for having me. And
so
I hope everybody learned something mindful today that was
I'm sure they will, especially how simple that it actually is. Very, thank you so much, Brenda. I'm sure some of the Belfast or the Northern Ireland ones will be dropping into Willow's Reach at one of your
brilliant.
workshops very soon. Thank you for your time today, and make sure you get me some celebrities autographs, you.
Oh, well, see you later. Have a great day, folks.
Okay, bye. How fabulous was that, guys? Absolutely amazing. Brenda is just, I don't even have the words to describe it. They're working with like dancers and celebrities and bringing mindfulness to the modern world in such an easy, understandable way. How fabulous that you can apply those things into your life. And Brenda completely missed what I was saying at the first 15 minutes of this summit. She missed where I was talking about being your authentic self, and there we go. It's all tying in together, guys. It really, really is. You think I would have planned that, but this is totally unscripted for me because I can't spell, so why would I script anything? But that was so fabulous. I can do this. Like, imagine teaching your kids those things at an early age. Imagine that. They would be more confident than me. They'd be more cockier than me. Oh my goodness, amazing. How is everybody doing? Have people been taking I literally just see Donna's got the pictures up there, Donna. Well done. Straight in there. No doubt. Yeah, so guys, what we're going to do, or what I'm going to do is, I'm still giving away free copies of my book. No one has been picked yet, sorry about that. I had a little bit too much Prosecco last night with Penny and company. So for those that are watching now, and you would like to win a free copy of my book, now, screenshot and post it on your Facebook. You don't need to post it on my wall, but post it on your Facebook. Tag me in it and say Spiritual Summit Day 2. And someone will be picked right after my next guest. So I will pick someone live that will be getting a copy of the book, or maybe two people or whatever it is, Tarot for Modern Times, and get it posted out to you. So you gotta post it on Facebook, tag me in it, and just write "what a sexy bastard" if you want. So yes, guys, I really do hope you are enjoying. I'm loving getting these messages from some people. I'm loving getting messages from everybody, let me say that. I don't mean I'm just getting messages from some people that I love. That's rude. But yes, I am so grateful for the messages. saying how much they're loving it, which is fab. Or some of you have got my number. I don't know. I'm gonna have to block you, I think. Yes, so guys, I hope you are really beginning to understand that the way things have been laid out here and the way my speakers are delivering things to you is to let you know that you can be your most authentic self. And like to me, that is just beautiful, being your authentic self. You will be more present, you will be more mindful, you'll begin to become aware of those parts of you that maybe, I don't want to say that you don't like, but those parts of you that you could probably work on and learn to change and integrate and work with a little bit differently and understand where those things come from. Because, you know, there's so many people out there that are like, it doesn't matter, just focus on the good and focus on the good and focus on the good. And that may work for some people, but sometimes we as humans need to understand, why do we feel this way about ourselves? Why do we think this way about ourselves? Why are we critical on ourselves? And sometimes the very understanding that, oh my God, this crazy belief comes from my crazy mum, my crazy dad, my crazy granny and whatever it is, that, or I went through this experience and turns out it has affected me much more than what I actually thought it was going to or did or anything like that. Sometimes just that awareness in itself is enough to free up that stuck energy to allow you to choose different, to show up different, to be different for you. And see, once you get to be different for you and show up different for you, everything in your life becomes different. You know, I was at a group on Thursday and we were talking about spiritual development, personal development, and you know, there's a kind of saying that goes, it's like, the more you get into like self-development and spiritual development, the more it benefits everybody else in your life. And not so much you, yes you, but the more other people will benefit from, you know, I don't believe people change, I believe people grow, you know, and the more that we show up as ourselves, the more we allow other people to show up as who they are. And isn't that fucking smashing? Like, isn't it? You know, the thing is, see, with me being a medium, with me being gay, with me being a general legend, you know, with me being a medium, with me being a member of the gay community, with me being a therapist, a coach, those different facets of who I am allow other people to tap into that part of me. I don't want to say version, but that facet of me. And I have literally had people that, because I am a medium and I talk about spirit and energy, and that allows people to feel comfortable with me to talk about those experiences that they've had, where they maybe think they're a wee bit crazy and a wee bit nuts. But because to me that's totally normal, and that's what I do, and that's my truth, and that's who I am, that allows other people to go, oh, there's a space with him that allows me to do that. Because I'm gay, that allows other people to show up a little bit more like themselves. The amount of people that come out to me is crazy in a good way, you know, and that's because I'm comfortable and I accept that. Sorry, ladies, if some of you didn't know, but because I am comfortable in my, you know, queerness, which is totally awesome to me, that's like part of my superpower, that allows people to be more comfortable with how they identify. So because I grow and I understand and I do the work on me and I love me, that allows other people to go, oh, well, if he can do it, so can I. And I am nothing special, but at the same time, we're all very special, you know. And then with me being a therapist and working with people in different capacities, the amount of people that open up and speak to me, like the therapist, as we would call it maybe in the metaphysical, of the healer, you know, that healing side of me allows people to feel safe with me to talk about things that maybe they can't talk about with other people. And see, when you provide that space for someone and that place for someone to show up, to be vulnerable, and you don't use it against them, can you imagine the good that you're doing, not just in the world, but in that person's world? And you know, one of my things is every single day I want to try and make one person smile. And it's always a lot more than that. And I will be stupid, I will be silly, I will have fun, I will do what I need to do. Because I mightn't be changing the world, but I'm changing one person's world. And I know what that's like to need your world to change. And see, when you have that need and that knowing and that understanding, you really want to just help people. And you want to help people go, hey, come on, you can do this. I'll be your cheerleader, you know, or if you want to sit and be depressed, I'll fucking sit with you, you know, until you're ready to move forward. And all of this comes from all of these different tools that I have at my disposal. But not just the tools that I have at my disposal, but also the experiences that I have in life that allows me to go, oh, I know what it's like to be down in the dumps. Oh, I also know what it's like to have everything that I could quite possibly need at this moment in time. You know, so it's not like, oh, look at me, poor me. It's like, no, I was there and now I'm here and I'm going there. But I can also help other people along the way because I know me. I understand me. I know that I'm enough. And I know that the right people are really, really going to get that. And see, if the right people don't get that, or if then they're not the right people. Are you comfortable with you? Are you understanding what I'm saying? Do you know what it really takes to let go of all that shit? Not as much as what you actually think. And I know that you'll be able to let go of some stuff from this weekend. And beyond, you'll be able to let go of some stuff. That's so fucking exciting for me. It really, really is. It's so exciting to know that we've like 300 people have registered for this event, and let's work percentages. Say 10% of you guys are gonna let shit go. Awesome. How much brighter is the world gonna be? How much more amazing is the world gonna be whenever you stop being so critical and you stop letting your past and other people's opinions hold you back, and you just be present? It's gonna be so cool, isn't it? And Tina, Dr. Tina Heath, if you're watching, feel free to come on now and we can move on with your little presentation. And I do really hope you guys are enjoying. I do hope that you are having so much fun. Saxy sent me a book. Maybe, Donna, maybe. I do hope that you are enjoying everything that is going on so far. And like I say, I didn't want to bring you medium after medium after medium, but I know that my team has selected someone to come on live in around an hour's time for you to see me work mediumistically, to work with spirit, because I incorporate spirit in a lot that I do, I don't always say that it's coming from those guys, you know. I don't always say that it's spirit, but I do incorporate it an awful lot. Sorry, just get more messages from people. Got it now, Susie. Thanks, Penny. Penny called me about 14 different names today, and they were all women's names, and I'm like, that's fine, you know, it's all good. Where was I? Yes, we are just gonna let shit go. That's it. And we're just gonna be our most authentic selves. And for those that have joined thinking that it was gonna be like medium after medium after medium, I don't know why you joined thinking that, because I most certainly made it very clear that that is not what it was going to be. Now, joining me in just a few minutes, we have the phenomenal Dr. Tina Heath. And then after that, I'll be doing some mediumship, and then we have Angela Dunlap segment, you know, so we still have lots to get through. And I know Dr. Tina Heath, she is an expert in her field. There is no other way about that. She's won awards for her contribution to the field of mental science. You know, she is a transpersonal psychologist, which means it's more than just the person. She incorporates the mind, the body, soul, you know, aspect of it. A spiritual hypnotherapist, which is phenomenal. And I don't want to talk too much because I know that Tina has put together a wonderful, wonderful presentation for all of us at our virtual spiritual summit. And I know that here comes Dr. Tina Heath. We are just waiting for the audio to connect, and then I know she will be taking everything over that away. So hopefully that comes through there. There we go. Welcome, Tina. How are you, my friend?
Fantastic, thank you. I need to turn off the other broadcast. I've got you in stereo, Sean.
Let's turn off the other broadcast just in case it causes a crazy feedback loop. We don't want that now.
Oh, hang on, I've lost you now. Where are you? Hello, hello, good
Hello.
afternoon.
There we go. Have you got me now? I know. I can do this. I can do this. Absolutely fabulous. Yes, how are you, Tina? Thank you so much for being part of my virtual spiritual summit. I'm so delighted that you're here. I know that you have spoke on stages probably all over the world with people. You've shared your knowledge with quite possibly what tens of thousands of people at this stage, and you're playing with me, so I am delighted.
Well, thank you for inviting me, Sean. I'm really delighted to be here.
It's such a fabulous weekend, and I know that you're taking it just a little bit differently than sort of like question answer style, and I know that you put a sort of presentation together. So, guys, I am going to hand it over to my wonderful friend Tina Heath, and I will be back. I'll be back once I feel it's enough. So Tina, I will let you run on until tomorrow. Thank you so much. Guys, enjoy.
Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to be part of this amazing spiritual summit. I hope you're watching, Sean, because I just wanted to say to you, I'm pretty overwhelmed with the quality of the guests. It's just a phenomenal weekend. So thank you. I'd also like to say thank you very much to our audience for being here this weekend. And as I love to say, thank you for loving yourselves enough to invest some time in your mindset, your spirituality, taking time to allow your soul to breathe and focusing with me here now on health and well-being. So as I said, I'm really excited to be here. This afternoon, I'd like to talk a little about my Being Slim for Life, as it's my new program that Sean has been talking about for the weekend, about being slim for life and the philosophy. And then I'd like to take our audience on a journey of self-exploration. So I'll be encouraging everyone to relax, turn the world off for a few moments, and go deep inside the mind to find out what's been holding you back. Later on, I'll be suggesting there's a filing cabinet inside the mind, your personal filing cabinet. It's going to have 4 grey drawers with 1 black drawer at the bottom. 4 grey drawers contain all kinds of everyday stuff, some happy, some sad, the everyday experiences that have made us who we are today. However, the black drawer at the bottom will contain the answers to our questions, the solution to our problems. And as you'll hear me say, once these problems are brought out into the light of conscious awareness, they can never trouble you ever again. It's going to be as if whatever's been holding you back in the past loses its power of influence to cause you problems ever again. So I'm Dr. Tina Heath. I'm a transpersonal psychologist. I've practiced hypnotherapy for more than 35 years. I hate saying that. Every time I say it, I think, are you really that old? But I'm also a metamedicine health consultant. And what this really means is that I help people to look at the way their mind is affecting their physical body. And when we change our thoughts, we change the results that we get. So Today, I'd like to just touch on the way our minds affect our physical bodies, because just about all bodily conditions, whether healthy or not so healthy, begin in the mind. Now, for some people, this might seem a bit of a newfangled idea, but it's actually something that began with the Greek physician Hippocrates, all the way back in around 400 or 450 BC. Hippocrates was and still is considered the father of medicine in recognition of his lasting contribution in the field of well-being, his use of prognosis and clinical observation, and his systematic categorization of diseases. But in truth, in 2022, we're only really just beginning to catch on how valuable that work is. More and more of us are now, and I love the way Brenda just said a moment ago, taking it slowly, introducing these new ideas slowly. That's what we've been doing. We've been pussyfooting around when the truth about who we are and how we create our lives is within us. We just have to tap into that power, and we do that with our thoughts. So today I'm going to be doing some hypnosis with you. I'm hoping to appeal to our wide range of watchers today, and I'm going to talk briefly about the way the mind affects the physical body in terms of weight gain, a subject that's currently affecting around 42% of the population, 3.6 billion people on planet Earth. So if you're feeling off kilter, overweight today, I hope what I'm about to share with you can lighten your load somewhat. Then we'll move on to uncover what's holding you back and whether it is something about your body you'd like to change, something around love and relationships, home life, money, success in your career, perhaps a goal you're aiming for. But actually, any area of your life, I think you'll find this worthwhile. As we say in hypnotherapy, an eye-opening experience. So if you would love to slim your body with ease and sustain a slim, healthy body, it's worth understanding that diets don't work for 95% of people. I know. To achieve real success with weight loss, and most other things for that matter, it's crucial to think from the inside out, which means tapping into our feelings and feeling your way into thoughts that support you, developing better self-awareness and changing your thoughts, feelings, emotions, and habits to ones that serve you better. Changing the language you speak within yourself. And as you hear my words, I hope you'll recognize some of the language you are using against yourself rather than for yourself. Changing the language you speak within yourself helps you to develop the behavioral patterns of naturally healthy, slim people, but also successful people. Now, going way back again, Socrates said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." I don't quite know if that's true or not true, but I do know that through my 30-odd years working in the field of mental science and studying human behavior, figuring out why people do what they do and how to get them to stop and go in a different, healthier, happier direction, helping people to uncover and eliminate the root cause of their mental, emotional, and physical issues and releasing the reasons behind those issues to successfully release weight, as well as a whole host of other issues, through the powerful process of hypnotherapy. As each unhelpful thought, feeling, and emotion is replaced with its opposite, the result, weight stays off for life. Body returns to its optimum health and well-being for life. But for the moment, I'm emphasizing on weight, but you could find that what I'm saying spills over into other areas of life too. Over the years, I've noticed a lot of, let's say, coincidences in where people carry their excess weight, and a variety of common threads in their thought patterns too. So as you hear my words, I'd love for you to examine your life, examine your body, and make some adjustments that serve you better. Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches that thoughts are the language of the brain, feelings are the language of the body, and we can reprogram our brains to be a map of the future instead of a record of the past. That may take some thinking about. So let me ask you, where do you carry the majority of your excess weight? I'm going to give some examples. So let's begin with the face. The face represents what we show to the world, self-consciousness. So begin telling yourself that self-expression is safe. No need to hide anymore or to care what anyone else thinks about you. As my old mentor, Bob Proctor from The Secret used to say, what you think about me is none of my business. And he's right. The arms, are you angry at being denied love, perhaps? As a child, you weren't the favorite. Remind yourself that it's safe for you to feel love, to give and receive love. In fact, you have all the love you want because you love yourself, not in an egotistical way, but in a way that's supportive, constructive, and nurturing for you. Belly. Maybe you were denied nourishment. Perhaps you experienced poverty as a child, not enough to go round. Or you weren't allowed certain things, maybe sweets. Release it by allowing yourself to nourish yourself with gratitude for you. Allow yourself to feel satisfied and free to make the choices that you want. The stomach, of course, the stomach is the storehouse of emotional turmoil. Be prepared to digest new ideas. Release feelings of dread, anxiety about the new, especially the new you, as you take on board all the wonderful new learnings of this weekend. Begin to digest life with ease, assimilating with joy each day, and feel a deep sense of knowing that all is well. The hips. Do you have lumps and bumps of stubborn anger, maybe toward a certain person? Perhaps you're angry with yourself. Parents, a past or current long-term friendship or relationship. Embrace forgiveness. Forgive the past. Forgive people who've wronged you, and recognize it's safe to go beyond parental, cultural, and even ancestral limitations. The thighs, sometimes packed with childhood anger. Many of my clients over the years have told me, oh, my parents never told me they loved me. Can you see that was a different generation? They were adhering to an era of lack of expression that had been handed down to them. Perhaps they did what they did because it was all they could do with the resources available to them at the time. So again, forgive now and free yourself forever. The shoulders, carrying burdens and an inability to carry out experiences in life with joy. We make life a burden through our attitude. I love how Earl Nightingale back in the 1950s said, attitude is a magic word. It can make anything happen or not. So choose your attitude wisely. Choose to experience only joyous attitudes. Love yourself. relax and release yourself. Our feet represent our understandings of ourselves, of life, of others. Perhaps you're stuck in a rut. Puffy ankles. People often tell me it's water retention, to which I think, could be problematic kidneys stemming from criticism, disappointment, failure, peed off about something, to use a touch of Sean's language, shame they don't take better care of themselves, or maybe the liver not functioning well through chronic complaining, justifying, fault finding rather than seeking a solution. But back to the feet, because so many people find it uncomfortable to wear shoes. Chubby feet or chubby lower legs? Are you stuck in a rut, feeling fearful of the future instead of stepping forward in life with joy and ease? Allow clarity, safety, security. Take a chance on you. Invest time in yourself and be guided by your heart. Release yourself from thoughts, feelings, and emotions that bind you to the past and step into your future with pride. Hands. I absolutely love it when I receive messages saying, oh, my wedding ring feels loose. Yes, we express ourselves with our hands, giving, touching, stroking, soothing, taking, holding, carrying, pushing away, pointing the finger, thumbs up. We let things slip through our fingers. Some things we hold on for too long. We say we can handle ourselves, or we can't seem to handle anything. We give someone a hand, or our hand in hand, helping hands. Let's go further, because hands can be gentle or they can be hard with knotty knuckles from tension, overthinking, or gnarled with arthritic criticism. Grasping hands come from fear. We sometimes say arthritis or old age, but really it's fear. Long-term fear. Fear of loss, fear of poverty, of never having enough. Fear of old age, of ill health. FEAR. False evidence appearing real. So relax. Allow a feeling of looseness and openness. Embrace your new future with an open heart and with every part of your mind, your body and your soul. Let it all go. Nothing there that's worth hanging on to. Should have said holding on to. If you'd like me to go further on this, welcome to get in touch. It's a subject I'm completely passionate about. So are you ready for some hypnosis? Because this deep hypnotic meditation I'm going to do for you today is a journey of self-discovery. It's entirely for your benefit and well-being, created, as I said earlier, to help you to go deep inside your mind and turn the world off for a while you focus on well-being. For a few moments, we're going to deny the evidence of the senses and connect with your divine and higher self. Together, we're going to dig deep into your subconscious mind, deep into your soul, to help you to discover what you really truly want and uncover and resolve what's been holding you back from that. Perhaps holding you back from making a decision. Perhaps preventing you from waking up eager to create your life on your own terms, living in the body you desire. Perhaps it's about a relationship, one you have or one you desire, earning more money, demanding more, demanding bigger and better from yourself. And as you'll hear me say later on, once whatever it is uncovered, Once shown to the light of conscious awareness, it can never trouble you again in the same way. It'll just become like an everyday experience. 95% of success in any endeavor comes from recognizing the spiritual energy that flows to and through us. But it's how we direct that energy with our thoughts that creates, and in fact is crucial to the success we desire. We choose. And one of the wonderful things about the use of hypnosis in therapy is that it takes only 2 to 3 days to process in the subconscious part of the mind before becoming an effective part of you. That's the purpose of today, and it's all about you. During this part of my presentation, I'll be speaking directly with the subconscious part of your mind, that incredible part of you that stored everything that's ever happened to you during this life experience and even before. So I'd love for you to simply relax, enjoy, and let it happen for you. Don't try too hard. There's no right or wrong here. Everyone will experience something different, something unique to them. And if you'd like to talk to me later about your experience today, I'll let you know at the end how you can do that. What's been holding you back? As we begin our trance now, I'd like you to really think about that question. What's been holding you back? That's good. I'd like you to make yourself comfortable now, because for safety, enjoyment, and effectiveness, I'd like you to stop what you're doing. Sit down, place your feet firmly on the floor, and allow your hands to just rest comfortably on your lap. I'd like you to close your eyes then as soon as you feel ready, because from now on, as you allow the sounds of my voice to wash over you, you'll notice yourself becoming more and more easily and more deeply relaxed with each easy, gentle, relaxing breath you take. Take a moment now to focus your attention on the muscles in your face and let them all soften and relax. And then pay attention to your breathing, because if you need to awaken at any time, you will do so refreshed and alert. For now, allow yourself to take a few deeper breaths. As you do so, I'd like you to imagine that you're breathing in peace. Breathing in peace and breathing away all cares and concerns. That's right, breathing in peace and harmony. And breathing away all unwanted thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. That's good. And you can notice warm sensations now entering into your body through your toes, so that at first your feet begin to feel very warm and relaxed. Then let that comfort flow through your ankles. Let those warm feelings flow through your legs, releasing any tension in your legs, releasing any tension that may be resting in your calf muscles, knees, thighs. You may even begin to notice that one leg is beginning to feel a little heavier than the other, but that's all fine. That's all part of this beautifully relaxing experience. Now allow those warm sensations to flow into your body, releasing all tension in your body. Warmth filling your stomach, hips, back. Allow that comfort to flow through your spine as inch by inch, muscle group through muscle group, you notice you can relax every single fiber of your being. As that comfort flows into every organ, every cell, every nerve, let those warm feelings release any burdens that may be resting in your shoulders, releasing any tension in your shoulders, your shoulder blades, and flowing down through your arms, into your hands, until even the very, very tips of your fingers seem to relax and let go. Perhaps one hand is beginning to feel a little warmer than the other. That's all fine. That's all part of this beautiful experience, where you can really let go. You can simply go with the flow of my voice, flow of comfort, the flow of your thoughts. Now, as you continue to breathe in peace and breathe away all cares and concerns. Continuing to drift and to dream. Those warm sensations filling your face now, relaxing your jaws and your mouth. And though your eyelids feel quite tightly shut, even little muscles at the corners of each eye can seem to detach, along with your awareness, as you enjoy this beautiful feeling of having nothing to do except relax, listen, and enjoy your journey of self-discovery. Because drifting now, your subconscious mind opens like a beautiful blossom, eager to receive a ray of sunshine, becoming more accessible, receptive to new learnings, changing old beliefs as you relax so very comfortably there, listening to the sounds of my voice, perhaps the sounds in the room, perhaps the sounds outside of the room, all enabling you to relax more deeply, becoming more attentive to my voice here, so calm, as this feeling of peace and tranquility overwhelms you now, with each gentle beat of your heart, as you drift deeper into profound relaxation. Because as your thoughts wander here and there, I like to talk to that special part of you, the subconscious mind, that wonderful part of you that has stored everything that has ever happened to you since the day you were born into this life experience, and even before. Your subconscious interacts with your conscious mind, higher consciousness, and your physical body, and has the great power to affect your conscious mind and your physical body. And I'd like to ask your subconscious mind to assist today in helping you to understand and eliminate whatever it is that's been holding you back from living the life you desire, the life you deserve, the body you desire with emotional freedom, abundance, pure joy, financial freedom, perfect health, contentment, unconditional success, true, everlasting, unconditional love for yourself as well as those you care about, living the life of your dreams, being your authentic self, and feeling free to simply be yourself. Because let's face it, nothing can undo what has happened to you. What was done to you was done to you back then. But friends, that was then, and this is now. And you can stop it here and now. You can stop the pain. You can stop the fear. You can put an end to it now. And you already know how. You know how to forget to pay attention to particular things. You know how to close doors and windows. And you can shut those on the past. You know how to see things now for what they are now. And your unconscious mind knows how to walk forward in time, across that line, a line in the silver sands of time, a boundary line that marks a new beginning for you, that lets you join the present as you let go of the past, released from what's gone on before. Like a butterfly coming out of that cocoon that allows you to see a future when you will remember how good it felt today to let go of that past, to say goodbye to it, and to let yourself feel just great. So go ahead now and keep going ahead later on, because that past is through and you are just you here and now and today, tonight. Whenever feels right, there is something you can do to put this away and get on with the future. Some way for you. A ritual perhaps, a ceremonial letting go, throwing something away to let yourself know that the past is done and the future has begun. And you will do that. Whatever feels right, simply get rid of it all, once and for all. And I have to wonder, how good can that feel? Because this is your time, your special time. Nobody wanting anything, nobody needing or expecting anything. This is your special time to go deep inside, turn the world off, and focus only on well-being, personal well-being. This special relaxation enables your mind to become very, very sensitive and receptive to my suggestion. And because today we are working directly with the subconscious part of your mind, that special part of you that has stored everything that has ever happened to you, every memory, dream, each event in your life is stored in the subconscious mind, emotional part of your mind, good, bad, insignificant. Your subconscious mind has no ability to reject. It simply stores everything. It's all stored there, rather like the contents of a filing cabinet. And today your subconscious mind will assist you here to go through that filing cabinet, seeking memories of importance to you, of significance to you, that relate to your problems, memories, feelings, and emotions that have previously held you back, that will be beneficial for you to recall here today during this relaxation. So I'd like you to allow yourself now to drift along one passage of your mind until you can see a faint outline of a pale grey door. As I count to 5, with each count, see that door becoming clearer. 1. You can see the door ahead now. 2. That door is becoming clear now. 3. You're moving closer to that door now. 4. Closer still. 5. Seeing that door really clearly now as you draw nearer and nearer to that door. Closer and closer now. Reach out now and open the door. Enter into the room beyond the door and gently close the door behind you. That's good. Now you can see that you are in a white painted room. You feel so at ease. It's well lit and airy. And although you cannot see the source of the light, you can see everything quite clearly. In the center of the office, there is a plain wooden desk and a comfortable brown leather chair. Beside the desk, you can see a tall filing cabinet with 4 grey drawers and 1 black drawer at the bottom. The room feels very comfortable and relaxing. As you walk over to the filing cabinet, notice the label attached to the black drawer at the bottom. It's labeled with a white card and red print. The red print says in capital letters, "Caution, not to be opened, not to be read." The 4 grey drawers contain all of those day-to-day memories of your life, events, situations, experiences, thoughts, feelings, and emotions that are mostly happy, some sad. Everything you have seen, heard, done, felt, smelt, and tasted. It's all held in these grey drawers. Everything you've experienced throughout your life. Memories that are available to you at all times, causing thoughts feelings and emotions that help you, serve you, and protect you, supporting you with each new life experience. The black drawer at the bottom, however, contains memories that your subconscious mind has decided to keep from you, to hide from you. And the answers to the problems that you have are there in that black drawer. That memory or memories that form for you the basis of hurt and pain. All the misery, upset, anxiety perhaps, frustration or anger, mental barriers, things that have held you back in the past. Within this drawer are those memories that, once shown to the light of conscious awareness, cannot be refiled in a hurtful way or cause you upset or problems ever again. Hidden away, yes. These memories, this data, experiences, thoughts, feelings, and emotions caused you problems and pain, held you back from living the life you desire. Perhaps the self-confidence or self-belief to achieve what you want. Once brought out into that light of awareness, they lose all power to cause you problems ever again, just as if they were never there. You have come here to understand and to resolve your problems once and for all. By appreciating this opportunity to come here to examine those hidden files, to take this chance to understand, you can resolve all problems easily and effortlessly, quickly and permanently. You cannot see your subconscious mind since it is formless, but as you relax now at the desk, feeling the comfort of that old brown leather chair, the black drawer can begin to gently slide open, silently, as if on well-oiled runners. And as it slides open, you may notice the label on the drawer is being removed, as if by invisible hands, torn in half and then dropped into the waste paper bin. You are now free to examine everything in the drawer. Take a note of the entire contents of the drawer. As you look inside, you will see a number of ordinary brown manila files. Take a moment to count those files. How many files are there? Count them now. As at the end of this process, you will be able to tell me how many files there are in that drawer. How many files are there? Count them now. Each file contains an important piece of information which, once shown to the light of conscious awareness, cannot be refiled in a hurtful way or cause you problems ever again. So look carefully. See how many files are in this drawer. Inside each file, you will see a piece of paper or perhaps several sheets. Each sheet will have on it a word or words, perhaps a sentence, a statement, written or printed upon it. Perhaps in black ink, maybe in colored ink. Perhaps as a newspaper cutting. You may find that some of the sheets have no writing at all but a picture, a drawing or a photograph, perhaps a scene, even a movie clip. where you play a key role, which you will recognize and find easy to understand. Take your time here because this information is vital to our success. You've come into this room today to resolve your problems once and for all. So allow your subconscious mind now to carefully take out the first file, laying it open on the table. You are looking at the first page. It is in your hands now. Look at it thoroughly. Examine every detail. Maybe only one word on the page, or it may be covered with writing, with a picture, photographs, scenes from the past. Look at each page carefully and let what happens happen. Remember, you are looking at memories from the past. They cannot harm you. Your mind is already aware of all the information you are viewing. There are no real surprises. And once shown to the light of conscious awareness, they lose all power to hold you back or upset you or hurt you ever again. Take your time here. As you reach the end of each page, turn it over and examine the back as there may be further detail. What is in that file is no longer a secret, dark and hidden, no longer the consciously unknown. All its power to harm you has gone. It no longer has that power. So now the content of that file is of no further use to you. Close the file. Leave it on the desk for your subconscious mind to dispose of safely in any way it sees fit, and then go ahead and open the next file. Again, relax in that comfortable leather chair. Take out another file, place it onto the desk, and look inside. Allow yourself time to examine every detail that the mind can find. Again, there may be just one word, or perhaps it's covered with words. There may be a picture, a photograph, or a scene from times gone by. Look at each page carefully. Let what happens happen. Remember, you're looking at memories from the past, and they cannot harm you. Once shown to the light of conscious awareness, they lose all power to hurt you. So take your time here. As you reach the end of each page, turn it over and examine the back as there may be further detail. When you've acknowledged the entire contents of this file, close it, lay it quietly on the desk for your subconscious mind to dispose of, and go to the next, and the next, and the next, and the next. Peruse each and every file until you feel completely satisfied that that drawer is empty. That's good. Well done. I'm impressed that you have done that for yourself. Because now you've had this opportunity and you've seen all that was hidden away from you for such a long time. You've been able to see and to understand what has been causing your pain. Now you know what was there. You know precisely what's been holding you back, keeping you stuck in a rut, keeping you in the past, perhaps preventing you from achieving perfect health, contentment and well-being, happiness, success, financial abundance, the life of your dreams, emotional freedom, joy, unconditional love. And now you know it can no longer hurt you in that way or cause you problems ever again. So now watch as that black drawer begins to change color. Deepest black is now fading to become grey. the same as the other drawers in that filing cabinet, now ready to store new and pleasant memories for the future. Now, how good does that feel? And so, before you come back from that place, returning to this place, I'd like you to reinforce every single positive thought you've ever had about yourself, as hearing me count now from 1 to 7. On the count of 7, you can gently, peacefully awaken, feeling refreshed, feeling relaxed and alert, excited about your future, and determined. Yes, very, very determined to protect your unique personality and achieve all your worthwhile goals. Feeling proud of the work you've done today. Feeling proud of the person that you truly are. 1, 2, 3, 4, feeling lighter and brighter now. 5, 6, 7, that's right. You can become wide awake now, feeling absolutely. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back from that sweet journey of self-discovery. How was that? I hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for meditating with me. Please do feedback to myself or Sian about your experience. And don't worry if this is your first time meditating. Maybe you're uncertain about letting yourself go. The subconscious mind hears all that it needs to hear. And if you'd like to try it again, I think the lovely Sian has recorded the hypnotic, thank you, Sian, I can see you nodding. Sian has recorded the hypnotic excerpt for us. So if you want to receive a copy and try again, you can drop me a line. Moving forward, I would love to hear feedback. So please, any questions about your experience today, anything you want to ask about hypnotherapy, any questions you have, reach out to me. I'm here for you. Hello, Sian.
Oh, hello, Tina. Thank you so much for that. Guys, I hope you have really enjoyed that little hypnotherapeutic experience. I know that I have a few of Tina's audios myself, and I would listen in bed, and it's welcome to healthcare for your mind. And then I'm out cold drooling everywhere, and I'm not even embarrassed about it. But I was able to stay with it this afternoon or this evening, wherever it is. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Sian. Sian, can I ask you a question? How many files did you see?
I had 4.
Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Well, if you'd like to talk to me about those later, you can, and we can, because it's such an interesting process. Some people will say that they didn't see any files, and I'll say, well, did you open the drawer? And they'll say yes. So there obviously were, but their subconscious is keeping them safe. So saying, you know, you don't need to know that consciously. We're still doing the work. Some people will tell me that they didn't even see the door. The subconscious mind will see everything and hear everything and know everything for your betterment. So don't worry if any of those kinds of experiences have happened to you. I've also had clients who've said, there wasn't just one file, Tina, there were 10 of them. And I've had clients who say, there's a whole corridor of filing cabinets, you know, I didn't know which one to look in. There's no right or wrong, it's all metaphoric. But if anybody wants to talk to me about their experience, please reach out. It's a subject I'm very passionate about.
Absolutely, and I know on the speakers page that I have your link to your website and also your Slim for Life group, and you know, what you spoke about today was absolutely fantastic. It really was. And I did kind of think, oh, you would probably speak about Slim for Life and weight loss, considering that that's really where you are. But you've incorporated so much. But because I am such a cheeky little bugger, I did send an email out to people asking what questions have we got for Tina for weight loss. So,
Oh,
nah, 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 nah. If you don't have to be away immediately, I do have another wee question or two just to ask.
I'd love to. Thank you, Sean. Thank
Perfect,
you.
perfect. So one of the questions here, and I hope you understand, I probably should have researched it. Can a psychological health issue like GLP-1 deficiency be healed via hypnosis? I.e., is there some way your mind can guide your body to secrete the needed hormone?
Yes, there we are. That's that answered. Um,
Perfect.
so I think the person is asking about a glucagon-like peptide. And some people do take medication for this, but I believe the medication isn't particularly successful. But what the person is looking for to get past this is improved blood sugar control. It's
Ah,
diabetes related.
mm,
So the short answer is yes, it can most definitely be helped with hypnosis. Just about everything, whether it's a brain tumor or cancer or blood pressure problem or GLP-1 or
yeah.
more or less anything in my experience, and people say this is a wild statement, but I've had 35 years working in this field and I've seen what people can achieve. More or less anything can be improved and or healed through the power of the subconscious mind
Mm,
when it's guided through hypnosis. So the
mhm,
answer is yes. And if you would like to reach out to me,
yeah.
whoever this person is, book a free call with me and we can discuss it. There's no obligation. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just very, very passionate about my field. But the simple answer is yes.
Yeah,
Great
awesome,
question.
fantastic. I
Great
really it is,
question.
and I know me and you've had a few wee chats about certain things with hypnosis, as people probably know that I've qualified as a hypnotherapist, and I've been speaking to you about a lot of things, and we've been running some wee tests and putting some wee things out there, and guys, see from what I've experienced in the short time that I've known Tina and her direction and her experience and the results that she's got, I would agree anything can be healed. And I'm only this amount of time into a career as a hypnotherapist. Let me see. So there's another message that came through that said Tina
Well,
Heath is
can I just
awesome.
can I just say something else about that though, Sean, please,
Yeah.
just to butt in. Sorry to butt in there, but this is quite important. Um, it's not, as a therapist, I say I'm the catalyst to the changes people want to make for themselves. Some people actually don't want to improve their lives. Some people are happy to say, oh, so and so can look after me.
Mm,
Oh, I'm getting old. Oh, before long I'll be blah, 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 some negative. For anybody who wants to improve their life, try hypnosis, but you have to want it. It's
yeah.
not us making you do it.
Yeah, perfect point. Absolute perfect point. We just got a message in there from Penny. Tina Heath is awesome. We round of applause emoji.
Thank you.
Rose has also sent me a message saying 35 years. Tina looks like she's about 20. So we've got that. And also another question that has been submitted was, I'm having problems with weight loss. I know how I feel about that word, but I have health conditions.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah. Okay. Most people do, to be honest, anyone who's going to become a stone and a half more than their optimum weight is going to experience health problems. But I'm guessing that as this person has written in, I don't know what their problems are, but let's just say, for example, it's fibromyalgia, chronic pain, you know, when we're carrying a lot of extra weight, then the joints are suffering, the muscles are suffering, the heart is working overtime. Everything within us is having to try harder, including the digestive process when we overeat, by the way. People just have no idea what that's doing to their bodies. Overeating and or eating late and going to bed, and instead of the body being able to have some time to heal and regenerate and rejuvenate the organs and the muscles and everything, it's having to digest food. So to answer the question, what tends to happen with my Slim for Life program? Now, as I said, I'm not here to sell anything, but if people want to ask me, I love to help anybody who wants to improve their life. But when you follow the Slim for Life program, what happens is that through the powerful hypnosis, your mind and your body become tuned in with each other, tuned into the foods and the products that are good for you and away from what's not. Now, when I say good for you, what that means is you will develop the mindset that causes you to eat the foods that will heal your body. And people say, you know, I don't like vegetables. Oh, I don't like water. Water is crucial. We can't metabolize stored fat without water. We need the greens to flush out our intestines, to flush out and all the vitamins that I'm not a nutritionist, but what happens is whatever is your health condition, you know, our bodies are perfect. We are born perfect. And it's us that abuse them. I heard you say you enjoyed a couple of glasses of Prosecco last night. You know, I had a glass too. We know as we're drinking that is a glass of poison, but we drink it anyway, and all things are fine in moderation. As I say with Slim for Life, it's not about deprivation, but the point about healing your body comes from what you're putting in and changing your mindset. More importantly, changing your mindset, because it's more the thoughts about what you eat rather than what you eat. But, you know, obviously what you eat is valuable. So again, if that person would like to reach out to me and tell me about their specific problem, then I would love to give some advice.
Yeah, fantastic. And I know that I'm pretty sure I've linked your Slim for Life Facebook group along with your website. I'm pretty sure I have. If not, guys, it would be very easy to find on Facebook, Slim for Life. And I know Tina posts the little links and the book, the international best-selling book, Slim for Life, is available on Amazon. But I know that
I'm going to show you the logo just so people know what to look for.
there we go. And you do post your links on your little Facebook group to book a free call to chat, so that's no obligation. You know, I know when people ring me to have a chat about what I do as a hypnotherapist and as an RTT therapist, I do give them the, you know, this is what I can do to help if you want to, but sometimes people just need that 20-minute call, and that sometimes is enough for people. And then other people, they want to book you for a year to work with them, so we're happy to talk. Yeah, we are happy to talk to everybody and anybody in between. Tina, thank you so much for being part of my virtual spiritual summit. I know everybody that's messaged me, we've got someone saying 22 files is what they had. I think she might need to book a call with you.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, great.
Yeah, absolutely. So get on the Slim for Life. Tina, I know that we've taken up a lot of your time, and guys, I want to let you know, I sprung that on Tina. Tina was originally told 30 minutes to 40 minutes, just like everybody else. It's my fault she's here an hour. So I'm taking the blame for that, but then again, I'm the boss, I've no one to answer to, so fuck it. You know, Tina, thank you so much.
You.
And yeah, thank you. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you so much, Sean. It's been fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wasn't that absolutely fabulous, guys? Tina is, and like I say, she's an expert in her field. That is just the way that it is. And fabulous, absolutely fabulous. I know I thoroughly enjoyed that. And this is the thing, like I said yesterday, guys, You know, in my career, I've been working 10 years as a medium, and I've met a wide range of people in that time. And you've met these people. These are people that are not technically mediums. Maybe they connect with spirit, maybe they read cards, but that's not really their thing. Like, I'm the medium, I'm the weirdo in the group. Apart from the mediums you've heard from and yet to hear from. And these are the people that I connect with. These are the people that I know, well, you know what? Tina can help me whenever I'm feeling stressed. You know, there's Brenda can help me whenever I'm like stressed out and need meditation and that time to focus. Linda is one of those people that you can go to and be like, Linda, I'm feeling a little bit shaky with my goal. What am I doing here? And you know, there's all of those different tools, whether it be straight into mindset, more over to the metaphysical, or up into the spiritual world for that little bit of guidance. You know, all these tools are there, and I want you to see that we can use these things to really be our authentic selves and to move way beyond. But apart from that, you may also know that I'm a pretty fucking kick-ass medium. Now, yesterday what you have done is you have seen me working with the tarot, and I've just got it flashed up there that we have someone coming on for a little bit of mediumship. And we're just waiting on the audio connecting there. So my assistants are going to get fired, by the way, because they're just messing things about. But hey ho, we are just seeing what is going on the screen there. Julianne, can you hear me? Okay, hold on. The joys of working live. So the joys of working live. Bottom of the screen. Sorry, I'm going bottom of the screen. You can't even hear. So yes, you've seen me work yesterday using the tarot and giving that little bit of guidance, that little bit of direction with the cards and seeing what's going on. You need to do it again. Yes, you've seen with the tarot once. There we go, there we go. Don't touch anything, don't touch anything.
Okay.
There we go. Hey. So my assistant had grabbed Julianne, just so you can let everybody know we're not related. I don't know you. You know, my
Nope.
assistant, I'm going to assume, sent you an email today going,
Yeah.
Jay, Shan's going to scunder you in front of everybody. At least that's what I told them. The right, my assistants never do anything that I say, because I'm a bit of a hellion and they're a wee bit more professional than me. But it takes all sorts, doesn't it? You know, Julianne, thank you so much for first of all being up for coming on to my virtual spiritual summit and letting me just do my thing, you know. So just so you know, guys, Julianne was one of the people that was picked, luckily, to come on, and so you can see what it's like for me to work with spirit. Yesterday, I done the psychic, which is all about you guys. It's all about the psychic is about you. That's why you ask those specific questions. But whenever we work with spirit, you know, and I don't know if you've had a private reading before, Julianne, or you're just about to get your socks knocked off you here. Hopefully it works. Wouldn't it be awful if it didn't work? And I was like, yeah, I'm the best, you know. I'm joking. Wouldn't that be hilarious though? I've done that at a dam before. I get someone to record me and I give out information and no one put their hand up. I was like, thank God that wasn't Facebook Live, you know. So there is always that possibility. But whenever we're working with spirit and our spirit family comes forward to a medium, oh shit, I'm trying to start a poll and all there. I'm like, no, let's get my screen opened up again. Once we're working with spirit, we are bringing through that evidence that they are still there, that they are still with us. And we do that by what I'm going to show you guys now, by proving that life, like love, never dies. And you know, we're only going to work for a couple of minutes, we're not giving you a full one-to-one because it's a
Mhm.
public forum as well. We got to be mindful of that. And if we were to do a full one-to-one, we might talk about all your business, and we don't want that. But I'm very, very aware of two spirit people that are around. Trying to make a little connection with me. I have a male that's with me first of all, and I have an older female that's with me. And this older female, she would be acknowledged as Mrs. D or Nanny. Oh, okay, Nanny D or Granny D. Do you understand?
Yeah, Nanny Day.
Nanny D. Because I know as she comes in, it's like she goes to me, son, it's Mrs. D to you, and then she's laughing, going, you can call me Nanny D just like everyone else. And I know that she's a wee granny as she comes in. You'd understand this,
Yeah,
and she feels so motherly. There's just that real feeling that she's everybody's mummy, and I know you would understand that,
yeah,
Julianne, please,
yeah.
because I know that she just comes in, and I don't even know if she's your mummy or she's your nanny or she's the woman up the street. But at the end of the day, she's claiming you as one of her own. You would understand this.
Yeah,
And she loves you so, so, so dearly. And she's not an overly tall woman, if that
no,
would make sense to you.
yeah,
And I know that she's not overly tall and she's not overly big in the terms of her frame, but I feel as she got older in life, she may have carried a little bit more weight, if you would understand this,
yeah,
please.
yeah,
Okay? And I feel like she must have wore skirts more than trousers. Would you understand this?
yeah.
Because she's very old-fashioned that way. She's very traditional that way.
It was.
Um, and I feel like her eyesight must have deteriorated, please. Would you
Yeah,
understand this? Because she's just went to me, she's like, son, I was blinder than what I let on. And that's just the way she's went to me. And I feel like you would have known that about her, but she didn't really complain about it an awful lot because she's saying that she didn't want to be a burden to anybody. Would
that's
you
right.
understand this,
Yeah,
please? Because I know that she felt like she was a burden. Would you understand?
yeah.
And because I feel like she a very independent woman in her life. You'd
Oh, yeah,
understand this,
yeah.
please. And I know when her health deteriorated, this was a long process with her. Doesn't that make sense to you? But
Yeah,
I want to say, like, for years of this deterioration, she still done things herself, and then it got to a point where she couldn't anymore.
that's right. Yeah,
Okay, and I
yeah,
feel like when she's talking about this deterioration and not being able to do things, that frustrated her because she's just said I was fucking frustrated, and that's the way that she would get on, wouldn't she? She
she
would just,
would. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And I feel like she had mobility problems with her hands as well, or the flexibility with her hands, please.
yeah,
Would you understand? Because I
yeah.
feel like the power would go from her hands as well, because I know that she shows me this, and she's telling me more than one occasion she dropped the cup and smashed it. So you'd understand this, please. And I feel like she laughed it off, but she knew that was a bad time for her, if you would understand, please.
Yeah,
Now, see, beyond that, I want to say that she has none of those feelings anymore. She has none of those ailments anymore. And I feel like she loves a good old wee carry on, if you would understand that, please.
yeah.
Okay, and I feel like I don't mean to sound rude, but she must have been a bit chesty in her day, and I don't mean,
She
I mean,
was.
she must have had a good old bust on her.
Bigger than her frame, but yeah.
Yeah, because she's complaining about that as well. But she's having a bite, and so I'm sorry about saying that, but I feel like she would have had to support herself at times.
Yeah,
And I feel like she would have been able to make jokes about being able to eat off them and stuff.
yeah, she did. She did.
Okay, because I know once we move beyond this, the ailments and the deterioration, God, is she a rat? That is just the way
She was.
it is.
She
Absolutely,
was.
100%. And she's just so wonderful, and I know that she put up a good fight, if you would understand this, please. And then she was just done. That's just
Yeah,
the way that it is, please. Because I know that you would acknowledge that with her, and it almost seems to me like She went from sleep to spirit, if you would understand this, please. She's saying she wanted to go out with a bang, but she just sort of went. Would you understand this, please?
Yeah.
She's like, it's not like me going quiet. Do you understand
No.
her being like that? It's not like me being quiet. She just went from sleep to spirit, and that's just the way that it is. And I feel it's like she hung on and she hung on, and she's saying that you were there around her when she was unwell, and she's going, she didn't leave me alone. She'd done my head in, and but that's just the way that she is. And I know that you would have sat there with her and held her hand. Do you understand? And you rubbed her feet as well. I know
Yeah.
she's talking about that. And she's going, I hated my feet being touched. But you sat and rubbed her feet and you talked away to her, and she did try to communicate back because she moaned and she groaned, and she's mostly going, stop touching me, and but that's her wee personality, Julianne, because she loves you, she really does. But if I was to tell you she was a wee angel, you'd be like, no,
No.
no, nah, she's a cheeky wee bitch. And I know that we're just acknowledging that, and I know as she comes in, she's bringing this other gentleman with her. Gentleman. She's going, who are you calling a gentleman? She's bringing this male in forward, and they have a good wee bit of back and forth. So I know that they know each other, and I know that this man that's coming in, he feels like he's your husband, please. So you must understand husband in spirit. And he's going, why am I coming in with her? And that's just the way he's getting on. So, oh my God, I really am raging at my team picking you because these people are nuts and it's not a good impression we're giving her. But Julianne, he's complaining about her, and she's complaining about him, and they're both complaining about you. But that's just the way that they were in life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely. Because he's going, she does my head, and not you for a change. Her, is this your mum, please?
My mammy.
Your nan, I said that, didn't I?
Yeah.
And he's got, she does my head in, and she's going, who are you talking to? And that's just it, because she's tiny and he's huge, but
Yeah.
she's gonna knock him out, and that's just how they're projecting it into my mind, and they're having a real wee laugh. They really are, because I know deep down that the two of them they're having a wee drink together, because I know that your husband enjoyed a wee drink and a wee carry on, just like your nanny. But I know even in life they give each other a hard time just for the crack.
They did.
Yeah, absolutely.
They
Uh-huh.
wind each other up all the time.
100%. I really, really feel that. And I know that he's really making it sort of important that your nanny comes through. He's making that so, so important that she connects with you today, because you know that he's there and you know that he's around. And I get the feeling that you need just something a little bit different just to let you know that. And that's why your nannies came in, please. And I know that this your husband's talking about the tattoo with the angel wings, please. Do you understand this? Okay,
Yeah.
good. Because I know that he shows me this tattoo, and whoever this is with is talking about getting more tattoos, please.
Yeah.
Okay? There must be a similar theme of tattoos with people in memory of him, please. Do you understand? Okay, good, because I know that he's acknowledging that as well. And I also know that I want to acknowledge the month of November as being significant, and I want the 9th of November also, because I'm a show-off. So you understand
That's
the
really fast.
yeah, I know. Because I know that he's bringing that in forward. Just again, he's just going, Shan, you're a show off, I'm a show off too. And that's why he's given me that information. And I also know that I want to be BT27, please. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Because I know that he shows me the BT27 area, and I know that he's having a wee laugh as well, given that. And I know that he's there, and he's saying, pass my love to the kids. Pass my love to the kids, because I feel like they're all going through it. I really do, and I want to talk about a boy. There must be a son. Do you understand, please?
Yeah.
And he's just when he's a big fruit. And that's just the way he gets on. Now, I don't mean he means like fruit as in gay, he just means he's a big fruit. Proper Belfast talk, isn't it? You know. And he's going, he loves them dearly. So please let him know that. He loves all the kids, whether, you know, they're they're annoying or not. He loves all the kids. But I know that he's talking about this boy is having a particular hard time at the moment, and he sees that, and he's there with him. So please just know that, Julianne, and your granny and your wonderful husband, they just love you so goddamn much. They really do. Take their love and know that they are never ever that far away from you. They're just blowing you kisses, and they're just going thank you for everything that you done, and now it's time for you to live life and stop running about after everybody else. And that's the wee message that your spirit family want to give you. Learn to say no. Apart from me, you say yes to me, but you say no to everybody else. Okay,
Yeah.
Julianne, thank you so much, and I'm not even sorry that you're crying. I'm really
I'm
not.
not either.
No,
I needed
'cause
that. Thank
you
you.
need to let it out. You really do. And guys, this is what mediumship is all about. It's not about am I gonna meet someone, am I gonna move house. It's about facilitating that space so Julianne or you guys can hear from that granny, that granddad, that partner, and know that they love you. That's what it's all about. Thank you so much, Julianne, for coming on. I really appreciate that. I don't know if
Thank
you're new to Zoom or not, but see if you tap the screen, it'll come up at the bottom corner saying leave meeting. So you can go back onto the wee broadcast room and watch us. Thank you so much, Julianne. Bye-bye. Guys, that's how I do it. You know what I mean? Not everybody does. Do I want to? Nope. But that's the way it happens, you know. So guys, that is mediumship. That is how I do mediumship anyway. And you know, it is my virtual spiritual summit at the end of the day, and what can I say really? It's the virtual spiritual summit, and I had to show you both aspects of my work, working psychically with the tarot, working mediumistically, with the spirit people, and you know, this really moves us so effortlessly into the next little part of my summit and my next guest, which is Angela Dunlap. As you can see here, it is, what's happened? Screen sharing has stopped, okay. Angela Dunlap is an absolute remarkable ambassador for spirit. Angela is Belfast based, she travels all over the place. She's actually the first person ever to give me an opportunity to go and work as a medium. I worked in her centre years ago. So let me see if I can just pull up the little segment with Angela. Hello. And I will get that playing now for you guys. Getting there. Sorry guys, you think it'd be a wee bit more clued in, but I'm not. So enjoy this wonderful part with me and Angela. Rose or Tina or someone, let me know that this is playing okay. Thank you so much. Everybody, I am super excited to be having Angela Dunlap with us today. Angela Dunlap is an international psychic medium. She's a spiritual mentor and a best-selling author of her first book. Hopefully there will be some more, The Miracle of Mediumship. Welcome, Angela. It is so great to have you with me today.
Thank you so much, Sean, for the invite and for everybody that may be listening to this ahead of time.
This is it. I know. I'm really. It was great having you agreeing to come on to chat about you, your work, everything it is that you do. Because I know you. I've known you a number of years, and in fact, the people that are watching may not know that Angela is actually the first person that gave me an opportunity to begin my career only a couple of weeks ago. We'll say that. We'll not admit to how many years ago that was. So I'm super, super privileged and excited to be chatting with you today, Angela.
Well, thank you, and I can't remember even giving you the opportunity. So if you remember it, I've given loads of people opportunities over the years. So I hope, but you're obviously really established now, which is brilliant. So your work obviously stands out for itself.
Thank you. And Angela, so you are a psychic medium. You do your demonstrations all over the UK, all over Ireland, sometimes beyond, and you do private readings.
Yeah.
What is your most favourite part of your work?
Yeah, I mean, I do a little bit of everything. I enjoy doing face to face. Do you know what? When you're asking what's my favourite part, it's difficult because I love connecting with people, public in general. So if somebody comes to me and they get a private reading and you're able to have a little bit more time with them, because obviously in a demonstration, you know, you can't give a half-hour reading to somebody because you would just lose out your whole audience. So you might be working around 10 minutes or so with an audience member, up to that anyway. But in a personal sitting, I think for me, when you see the connection in that way, I love demonstrating. That probably out of everything is my baby. That's I love demonstrating. I love being in front of the audiences. It's not always easy though. I'm going to be honest. Sometimes you get difficult demonstrations and sometimes you get really amazing, like magical demonstrations. It's just part and parcel of that work. But the one-to-ones, when somebody receives a contact, even in an audience setting, but in a one-to-one definitely, you can give somebody a lovely hug and you can wipe away their tears, and sometimes I end up crying with them, and you can have a little chit-chat beforehand and then ask them how they felt afterwards. So probably it all, but maybe I would lean into, it's a difficult one, what's my favourite? I don't know. No, I can't really
Just it all then, I
Just it
suppose.
all. No, I do. I love it. You know what? Which is lovely. Over the last 20 years of working as a medium, and I'm sure you've found this as well, Sean, I've never lost my passion for it. I've had periods where I've thought, I'm done, I can't be bothered no more, I'm finished with this, it's too much hard work, and I get all stubborn and grumpy and moody with the spirit world and with myself because things aren't going my way. And usually then there's a lot of learning in that for me, of having to relearn to sit again in my attunements and meditations and sort of just relax, and there's usually changes going on when that happens. So it's all, the passion has always been there though.
Absolutely. That literally what you have said there, Angela, that just sounds like me. It's been, can you believe, I'm this close to 10 years working full time as a medium, and I have had those experiences where I get frustrated and I huff and I'm standing going to my guides, but I'm not doing this anymore. I'm gonna live a normal life, and then you live a normal life for 20 minutes and you miss being able to make those connections for people.
I think the thing is with mediumship especially, and for any medium that may be even listening to this or that you know yourself, it's an expression that we have to do because it's just part of our soul essence, and we find the most joy with that expression. So whenever I'm doing a contact with someone and it's going really well, and at the end of it you can see the positive impact and the healing that it's had on somebody, and it brings that upliftment and a wee bit of hope and faith back. You can't buy that. That's priceless. And so that's what keeps us coming back again, even through the frustrations, even through the self-doubt, even through the confidence issues, and the way we overcome that. And it's like any job, you don't have to be necessarily a medium. If you're involved as any work at all, there is going to be periods when you are going to get a little bit of frustration with it. But the difference is, if you've got the passion and you really love what you do, then you may veer off a little bit, but you'll always come back on track again.
Exactly, and so beautifully put, Angela. It really is. It's that passion and like you say, that expression of who we are. I think that's the first time I've ever heard it put like that. So I'm gonna have to sit with those words. I really am, because it is so beautiful. And
but it's your soul essence. That's what it is. So when you're, when people say to me, you sometimes you got people that maybe doubt the work that we do, or that they think we're making things up, or that they sort of put wee labels or tags to us, but normally that we're in it for self-gain. But the reality, absolutely, you have to be able to make money in its own way, because I don't run around Tesco's saying, excuse me, I'm going to be getting this for free with a big shopping trolley, do you know? So I still have to pay my bills, my mortgage, everything else in between. But if you have the passion and you have the expression and it's part of your sole purpose, then, and even in the very, very early days, whenever I only had very little clients, and even for demonstrations, I remember periods where I only had 6 and 8 people turn up for demonstrations, but I was still there, I was still present, and I still had faith in what I was doing because I loved it so much. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, when you really enjoy something, then you know you found your purpose.
Exactly, and that enjoyment will just continue to carry you through it. And you know, I think us as mediums, we know what it is that we're doing. We know that we're making those little connections to the spirit people. But why do you think that, or not why, what, let me try that one again. Why would clients come and see us for a private session?
The simple answer is because they want to know that their loved ones are safe. And that's what it boils down to. You know, if somebody has gone through a loss, the first feeling that you're going to experience absolutely is the grief and the sadness and the missing. That's natural. It's all part of the process of any loss, not necessarily a loss of a loved one. But they want to know and have that reassurance that their loved one is okay and that they're still with them on their journey. And it doesn't matter how much time has passed. You know, I've had clients actually this week doing readings for people, young people, and their fathers, both the young girls, both of them had dads passed when they were young children, and then the opportunity many years later, here they are as young women, and they're coming and their dads are saying to both of them, I'm still here for you, and, you know, and it's not just that. So people come when they're maybe not necessarily ready, but maybe people don't know about this, what we do, and they don't understand it to the extent that it's meant to be of love, of healing, of upliftment, the things that I've already shared. So people come because they need that hope and the renewed faith that yes, my mummy's okay, yes, my husband is okay, yes, my child is safe and well, and it means then it gives the person that you're reading for the opportunity to still live life in a happy way, to know that their loved one is still continuing with them, maybe in a different avenue as such, because they're no more physical, but they're certainly there as a soul essence, and it's still love them, more importantly. You know, so it's all part and parcel of the healing.
Yeah, 100%. I was teaching at the weekend, and that's pretty much what I was saying. The beautiful bunch of people that are just developing their abilities, and like mediumship, it's healing. You know, it's not about am I meeting someone, am I going to win the lottery, as most people think it is. It's healing for the client, and it's healing for the spirit, and it's such an amazing thing to be able to facilitate that space on both sides of existence, you know. Well, I think so anyway.
And I think it's really good that you're sharing that, because people need to be reminded that it's not all this glam, and it takes commitment and discipline and years of being able to sit, especially if you're in a development circle. You know, it's not a process that happens quickly, as much as we live in a fast-paced world, you know. So if people, especially students, if there is students listening to this, you have to be able to have a bit of patience and not work on what you think or on your control issues. You know, you can't ask the spirit world. You can talk to them. I'm not saying you can't talk to them, but what I'm saying is you cannot control the journey. You have to learn to surrender. You have to learn to be open-minded. You have to learn to be trusting. And all of that just takes time, and it's practice, practice, practice. And it takes thousands of practices to get it into a space where you feel confident and relaxed, and that you really start to enjoy it. It's not to say that you'll not enjoy moments on your journey, but it's just to be, it can be a little bit testing at times, especially in the early years.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you said years there as well, because I know there's so many people think that after a weekend workshop, that's it, they're a career medium or a working medium or whatever term you want to use there. But when we are talking about development, this does lead me to a question that was submitted. You must be psychic, Angela.
I must be a little bit psychic.
But I think, a side note, medium sense of humour can be so silly at times and things like that. I love those jokes like that. But one of the submitted questions was from a developing medium, and they've been sitting in circle for a few years, and she feels like she is now ready to work with the public without, while still sitting in circle. But she feels like she's at that point to do a few readings on the general public. Is there any advice that you would give her and anyone in that situation of their unfoldment?
Yeah, the first thing I would say is believe in yourself, because if you've got a sense of belief, and obviously whoever this person is, they do already, and that they don't need approval from anybody, because the only approval that they need is of themselves and of spirit and of the integrity and intention that they're doing it for. So if they feel like, and it's going back to what I was sharing earlier on, if you've got the passion and the purpose for it, and you've the drive as well, to want to go out and help people and work in that way, and have the courage, because it takes courage. You know, when a client has come along and you're meant to know everything about their life and all about their loved ones, deceased or passed over, and share information, I mean, it takes courage enough to be open-minded and trusting, to say, I've got X, Y, and Z about your loved ones. So I would say to that person, go for it, because there's a part of you that wants to have that expression and to do that. So nobody's going to hold you back, and you don't need anybody's approval. Just do it anyway and give it a go. And I always have that little slogan: nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Yeah.
You know, so if you give it a try, if the girl is still working, I would say maybe keep your job on. In my initial days, I give up my job and I walked straight into, I rented out a space in an office in town, and I had no money because I thought the spirit world was going to provide, because I took the courage and the leap of faith and thought, this is what I really want to do. And then I was sitting waiting for the clients, and obviously I was waiting to, I had my bills to pay at the end of the month. So I was too prideful, but my God, was that a good learning experience. And eventually, like, I had to still get a bit of a part-time job to keep me financially funded, until such times it gathered more momentum, and then I was able to put it back.
Absolutely, that is advice. I teach, like, teaching is my thing. I absolutely love helping people step into their own spiritual potential. I love it. And that is exactly what I tell everyone. It's like, you don't need to jump from your job straight into being a full-time, like, medium or tarot reader or healer.
Like, you know when that's right for you, though, you know when it's the right timings to take that leap of faith in that way, to go more full-time. And it's when normally you have bookings ahead. And the other thing is, as well, even when people go out and they start doing their private readings, it will help with confidence if they want to go on then to do demonstrations, because you're opening yourself up to a variety of different individuals, of different life stories, different loved ones. You're going to have loads of different experiences with spirit communicators, and also with personalities on a one-to-one basis, and so you're going to have to learn to deal with that in a demonstration basis. And I just have a feeling whoever this girl is, that she has the demonstration abilities there too. But again, it may just take a little bit of time for that transition, and so enjoy the journey, not to sort of enjoy all the nervousness, enjoy having the leap of courage and the faith, and enjoy setting up a little room and getting your clients and your business cards, because it's meant to be enjoyable. And one of the main things about mediums, especially anybody that is maybe branching out, do not compare yourself to another person. That is massive, because you see, when you go into that comparison, what happens is you put yourself down. I'm not like them. I don't have enough clients like them. I'm never going to be able to achieve what they do. And then the list continues. And then by the end of it, I'm not doing readings for anybody. I don't have any confidence. I need to go back to Sean into my circle and climb alongside. You see what I'm saying? So if you feel you have the desire for it, absolutely give it a go. But do your best not to compare, because your expression, your spirit, and that goes for everybody. If you have something a desire for, regardless if it's a mediumship or anything in your life, you have to just give it a go anyway, because there's something within you that needs to have that experience. And so that's not your journey, that's that girl's journey, and the same for everybody.
Yeah, that's fantastic advice in anything that it is that you do. I love that. Angela, thank you so much. So I know you said you've been working 20 years, is it? That's
Started when I was 24, so plus 20 now.
looking amazing.
I'm looking good for 44.
You really are.
We'll knock off about 7 years of that, will we?
Sure,
Alright, let's
absolutely.
do that. I want to Yeah, no, I'm 44. I can't believe it myself, but it's good. And do you know what? When people say your life starts when you're 40 or your life starts when you're 50, for me, my 20s and my 30s were difficult years. I am loving being in my 40s. I feel so much more confident than I've ever felt in my entire life. So, you know, and the Botox is working, so it's all good.
Yeah, tell me about it. We had an earthquake here the other day, and a few friends were worried about a tsunami because we're on a wee tiny island. And I'm like, don't worry about it, I have enough filler will float to safety.
Just jump on it, Sean. He's going to throw his back over his
Yeah,
head.
no, use my cheeks as a flotation device, absolutely, you know. But yes, 20 years, so you must have done a hell of a lot of connections over that time, and I know that you've documented a few in your fantastic book, The Miracle of Mediumship. If you have a copy to hand, we can...
Come on, here it is here, if anybody's interested. It's called The Miracle of Mediumship, and it's true life stories of the afterlife and mediumship. So that's what it is, and it's a fabulous book. Of course, I'm going to say it because I'm the author.
But you're all, not only that, it's best-selling, it ranked #1 on Amazon, so it's
It
not
did, yes, it went #1 on Angels on Amazon, and I released it last year on the 1st of December 2021, so we're just coming up to the first year now, which is absolutely amazing. And you know, there's been a couple of thousand people have read it already and have, thank God, they have given me great positive feedback, and it's helped people, and it's helped people to connect to not just their loved ones who are passed over, but the connection of just knowing, well, if their loved ones are in the book, because the book is, it's a little bit about my story, my background of my family life, and then how I got involved in mediumship, and there's some funny wee anecdotes in it too, and stories. So it's a little bit about that, and then it goes into lots of stories who I've done personal readings for, and with the clients, and then sort of looking at the evidence and how that is given proof then of contact that what I'm doing is working with loved ones who are deceased. And so it's a combination of all that together, and it's a great book, and everybody that's read it has told me they cannot put it down once they start. So it's a fast read, and it's like a wee box of Pringles, so once you pop it, you can't stop it. So yeah, but it's great, and I love it, and I really enjoy writing it, and I started writing it whenever lockdown happened, because the shop closed down, and it gave me an opportunity for some more time. And I had always wanted to write a book, and so then that was the perfect time in the end to get involved with it. So yeah, it's a real good book, and you can get it on Amazon, or you can get a hard copy through my website, and if you jump on, it's just angeladunlop.co.uk.
Yes, I have your website already linked on our speakers page for this event anyway, and it's your website and link to the book. So guys, go check out angeladunlop.co.uk or go over to our speakers page. I'm going to annoy you with the emails anyway to go and buy the book. And I know that we can't just pick one story because you just can't do that, but is there a story in the book, is there a particular contact that really just stays with you and you're like, wow, the power of spirit is amazing?
Do you know what? Every single client that gave me permission to write their story, each of them, I loved writing each of their stories. One of the stories in particular, when I was writing it, I cried, actually writing the whole time, I just cried. And it's a story, it's about a little girl, her name is Kendall, her mother is called Dawn, and this wee beautiful soul is only 6 when she passes over, and she had to battle a lot of different health complaints from she was in the womb until she passed over. And what the lovely thing is, whenever I did the contact with Dawn, as in bring her daughter forward, I was over in Bangor at a demonstration, and I was standing on the stage, and I picked her out of the audience, and then I invited her and her mother up to the stage, and then that's when Kendall came forward and communicated. And the first thing that she did was she sung Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and her mum said that she used to sing that every single night in the bath, and she did this with her as a thank you. And Kendall was deaf, and so she always done this to her mother, so always to say thank you for anything that she'd done. And so the story tells a little bit about Dawn and Kendall's background and everything that they had to go through, and then it builds into, and all the stories are like that, where there's a bit of background story, and then it builds into then how I enter their life, and how the mediumship then comes, and then all the evidence from the loved one that is passed over. And so it's a very healing book, and it's some of the stories are, I feel, are extraordinary. But remember, it's a book like any of the work that we do, Sean. It's a book to bring comfort. It's a book to help just lift people up again, and for them to know if somebody out there is listening today or tonight, regardless if it's a replay, and you're going through real struggle and your heart is just feeling like it's broken too, and you're thinking there's no way that loved ones could be passed over and still with me, then this could be a book that you might want to just delve into and read. And hopefully it's a book that changes perceptions in people's minds, because these are real life people that I'm dealing with. These are strangers that I didn't know.
Yeah.
And then the next thing, obviously, I did get to know them over periods of time, not as a friend as such, but as acquaintances, and then because of the work, because at the end of the day, you know, I facilitated the experience for them.
Yeah, I just got chills whenever you were telling that story, and wow, like, the power of spirit is just, it's still mind-blowing still to this day for me. Like,
What I love is that I love the details that, you know, that you can receive if you have the open-mindedness to really go in to the mediumship, and without getting into like a whole teaching thing, because I'm not going to, but you know, you can develop stories out of the story that you're already receiving. You know, so if you're, for example, in that story that I just shared, there was a part of it when I was working with Dawn, and I could feel that there was issues in the pregnancy from the beginning, and not just with the pregnancy of wee Kendall, but also with the relationship that she was involved in. And you know, and then it was developing the whole story around how she interacted with her father, how Kendall was like that with her dad, but there wasn't really much connection. And all of that story then, it forms into evidence, and yes, that's correct, that's the way things went, that is how our life transformed, you know. And so when you're reading these stories, or if you ever receive a contact, you have to look at, well, what's the story behind it? I love telling stories, I love sharing details, so because I think that gives a wee bit more extra verification of, or validation, yeah, no, it's right, and then they must be with me, they must be still with me, they must still love me, they must be around. Or even things that they see that haven't even happened yet. I see here that, you know, that your dad's talking about you're going to have a baby girl, and then in a few years to come, that thing happens, and then they come back and then they give you that validation of, you told me this, and more than likely we don't remember half the things that are shared, because we see that many people.
absolutely, I know, and yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. It's a beautiful experience to be able to have with people, it really is. And you know, I get clients that come to me all the time, and one of the things my clients would say, like at the end, is, would you tell them I love them? And I always go, no, like, I'm not doing that, you do that yourself. You don't need me to tell your mum or your dad or whoever it is that you love them, because we're all spirit, you know, and that's who we truly are. And you can still communicate with them, just like the likes of me and you do it a little bit differently, you know. And my clients are always, because they're a wee bit sort of taken back by that, and I try to inform my clients all the time that, you know, you can still have an experience with your loved ones. It will be totally different from coming to see me or you or any medium that provides sessions and demonstrations. And you know, If you could give someone a little bit of advice that isn't a medium like us, how to maybe have that space and that connection with their loved one, would there be anything you could recommend for our lovely people watching, what they could do?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a couple of things actually. One is definitely meditation. So if you've never tried meditation before, there's loads of guided ones that are on free on YouTube or Spotify, so you could maybe begin with those. And if you've never meditated, maybe try and do 10 or 15 minutes in the beginning, and it will help just slow your mind. Actually, meditation all round for mental health and depression and anxiety and nervousness and boosting confidence and keeping our brain waves. There's obviously been lots of scientific experiments on meditation too. So it's a positive impact all around, mind, body, spirit. So it'll have that first and foremost. But then as you get practicing with meditation, you can say to your loved ones without trying to control it. That's the difference.
Yes.
But you can put the thought to them, please come. Help me to know that you're okay. Help me to know that you're still there. And you may have a memory that may flash up from many years ago. That will be a loved one trying to let you know I'm here. Or you might see a face of somebody that would have passed many years ago, but it's not the loved one that maybe you were expecting. Or you might hear a voice that comes in your own voice, and it may be a loved one that you do know and love, and yet you may not see them, but you're hearing the voice of them. And it comes in that way. That's them trying to say hello. Or you may have visions that are completely different. So loved ones can, you see, when somebody passes over, the person who they loved, they are their primary focus. And 24/7 you have access to that person who's passed over, and they are always there. But energetically, because we are so busy with our day-to-day and we don't tune in spiritually within our souls, and that's what meditation is. It's tuning in with our soul essence. So when we're tuned into that essence of energy, and that's what mediumship is. So mediumship is whenever myself or Sean is connecting with our soul energy, and then loved ones are blended with our soul, and that's how we are able to perceive them. But if you sit and you're doing your meditation and that you're starting to open up more and more, you're moving into that soul essence of who you are. And so naturally loved ones will be, you will start to feel them. You might even get smells of them. And another way is be open to signs. That's the other way for people. They may come in forms of dreams. They may give you signs in forms of electric. You might get it in forms of rainbows and songs, things that you would associate. I had a lady one time, her father was a mathematician, and she kept seeing repetitive numbers everywhere she was going, but she knew that was her dad.
Yeah.
So he was a very practical man, obviously, because he had to be. So that was one of the ways that he was trying to give her a sign. And when we did the connection and he came forward, that was one of the things that he said. You see, so there's lots of signs that loved ones can give to us, but you have to be open to it. And years back, I've had loads of signs, obviously, from spirit. But whenever I was just beginning and getting involved in this, and I had a wee granny in Branda, you call her my Granny Doy. And I remember I was doing awareness classes, and I was beginning to sort of inquire, and I was starting my meditations, and I remember I was lying in bed one night and I could just feel the presence of my granny at the bottom of the bed, and I could see her in my mind. But I didn't see her with my physical eyes, but I knew that she was there. I knew she was there, and this is going to sound awfully odd, but sure it all is anyway. But in my mind, I just knew she was rubbing my feet. And if you know my family, we are a big family. We love getting our feet rubbed. We love reflex. We have all trained in reflexology. We love it that much. So, so that to me was her way of just saying, I'm here, I love you, but it was the encouragement that she was trying to give to me as well. So absolutely, if you're going through any stages of grief, or that you're heartbroken over a loved one, know that you're the centre of their attention. And sometimes when people are so enclosed in the sadness and depression and all of that, it's hard to feel the loved ones.
Yeah.
Even if you're asking for them, because you're immersed in that energy. And so you may find as you come out of that energy of all that sadness, and it'll never leave completely, but it'll lift, that's for sure, because nothing stays forever. It will lift, and then you might see and be a bit more open to the side, but know that they love you more than what you realise.
Exactly, and so many times, and probably you've had the same situations with your clients where the loved ones have came through and said, you know, oh, I've sent that bird, or I've done this, or I've done whatever, flickered the lights, and you know, my clients are like, was that really them? I thought I was losing it. And it's like, no, it was them. Give them that acknowledgement and give them that energy to work with so they can do more. You know?
Absolutely. There's at the back of the book there is a whole chapter on spirit signs. So I put the feelers out on my Facebook page and asked individuals who have had their own personal spirit signs to get in touch with me and share their stories. So the stories in the book at the back are just from everyday people that have had their own spirit signs. So there's another wee plug then for the book.
Which is The Miracle of Mediumship by Angela Dunlap, available on Amazon.com.
And also on the website if you want a signed copy.
AngelaDunlap.co.uk. Yes, Angela, thank you so much for your time today. I really enjoyed chatting, and hopefully people that are watching can take something away from it and understand the work of a medium just a little bit more, and you know, excite some people that are maybe on their own sort of spiritual journey. I know I've thoroughly enjoyed speaking with you today, and I know the things that you said to me over the years have had a big impact on me, so I know that your book will have a massive impact on more people, so I'm delighted.
Well, I'm grateful and thank you so much for the offer, and I hope the rest of the weekend and the different sessions that you have plugged ahead help people, which I'm sure it will do. So thank you so much, Sean.
Thank you so much, Angela, and we're just going to head back on over to the main weekend presentation. Why, thank you so much. Past me, we're now back to present me, and oh my god, what an amazing weekend, guys, if I do say so myself. And I know that loads of people are, because, I know loads of people are saying that they're really enjoying it too, and they're getting so much from the weekend, because my messenger is just, it's blowing up, and my WhatsApp and Instagram and all that stuff. Nothing on Grindr, unfortunately, though, but whatever. What an absolute fantastic weekend, and I really do hope that you guys have been able to take away that, you know, you don't have to be a medium to apply being spiritual into your life. You know, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We're not humans with a spirit. You know, we're spirit with a human body. In this life that we're living, that's really what it is. And there's so many different facets to us. There's so many different ways that we can go about living our life, living our most authentic truth, becoming our most authentic, beautiful selves, and becoming that an even more beautiful version of who we were, of who we are, and who we're yet to step into, that expression of who we really are. You know, and the more... We don't even know what we're fucking capable of, guys. We really don't, because our potential, the more we move towards our potential, the more our potential expands. And whether that be in goal setting, goal achieving, meditation, letting go of limiting beliefs, rewiring yourself for new beliefs, new success, or even embarking on that journey of being a tarot reader or a medium or whatever it may be, the more that you do that, the more your soul expresses itself, and the more it begins to become that fuller expression of who we are. But it's always a journey of moving forward. It really is. And I'm so happy for this weekend. You have no idea. I've done all of this myself. I've created the website, the broadcast room, everything that you see. I've done this myself. That's a different facet of me. I'm not just the talent in my business, you know. I'm not just the pretty face, shall I say that. And I reached out to these people, these colleagues of mine, these people that I look up to, that I work with, to bring you the best that I possibly can. you know, and I really do hope that you have been able to take something away from it, and I've thoroughly enjoyed this so much that I think I'm going to make it a yearly event as well. Maybe it'll be longer than just 3 hours each day, maybe it'll be a longer process. Who knows what it's going to look like for 2023, but at the end of the day, I've given you enough information and enough tools and enough connections to now begin to go on this journey of self-discovery, of changing your limiting beliefs, and really connecting to that spirit aspect of who you are and what your potential is. And you know, connect with all of the speakers. I'll send out more emails with information. Connect with all of my speakers from this weekend. If it is you want to, you know, develop your mediumistic gifts and abilities, well, hit me up. You know, I have an accredited training program for that is starting very soon, but I'm not really pushing that on you. But just know that the tools are there. You know, whether it be you want to work on releasing that bit of weight, or setting goals, or finding out what the stars have to say about you, or booking a private session, anything that's going to help you uncover that bit of potential, that limitation that you have within your life, you can now do that thanks to Psychic in the City's virtual spiritual summit. I really do hope you have enjoyed this weekend as much as I have enjoyed it, guys, because it's been absolutely fabulous for me. And just before I go, what I want to say is, remember to drink your water, eat your vegetables, and stay away from fuckboys. Have a good one, guys.